These mobs look weird. I'm just saying, they look fucking weird. Anyway, what's up everybody? More Stheno account nonsense. Okay, music a little loud there. But, yeah, we're insulting mobs now. We'll do some farming today, we'll do some account reviews, we might do the challenge quest a little bit here in a second. Just, mess about. Okay, I want to do a bonus stream today, but then my brother and friends and everything were like, hey, we should do something tonight, and I'm like, that is not a lot of warning, so we'll see how, like, time management goes. Let's see, this team is pretty weak, so I gotta be careful here. Don't want to wipe when farming. You know, real life, I know, right? Yeah, this song's really good, but it was a little loud. It's the final boss theme from Tales of Vesperia. Although there's like 3 final boss themes in Tales of Vesperia, because that game's weird. So you know how most games, and especially Tales games, but they have like a, you know, EX hidden side boss that's like not part of the main story, right? Like you do a bunch of side, and like in Tales games, they normally have like the hardest side boss is like you collect all the hidden weapons and you unlock like a devil arm boss, and that's normally the hardest boss in the game, and it's not connected to the main story, you know, it's a side thing. But in Vesperia, for some reason, they made it so they had a boss like that, but if you did it, it actually gave the final boss a harder final form. So it was an optional side boss, but it was like tied into the main story like that, so that was pretty unique. I actually kind of like that, mixing it up. They had other side bosses as well, but that was probably the hardest boss in that game. At least in the remake, or reboot, or PS3 version, whatever. Do I NP here? I could NP here, then use like Mordred's crit stuff on one of the waves. Now I'll save it. See if Siegfried can do 7k. Fuck, Mordred didn't do enough. Never mind. Oh, you know what we need to do on this account, chat? We need to do the strengthening quest for Arash and all those other servants. Like, that'll put this account on the map. It's so many stages. Like, it's so many. You have to unlock the 3rd skill, then you have to upgrade the NP, and like, I mean, I guess I haven't used any apples on this account yet, so I might as well, but oh my god. And we gotta do the Asterios stages, we gotta do the Proto-Coup stages. I almost said Coup Altar, that would be insulting. Okay, Mordred can face tank an MP here. Actually, I should have just had Qin Gong do it because he still has his CE. Hey, Djinn. I collected all the pine cones, I win, yep. Wasn't too bad. Okay, chat, I ask this every once in a while. If you could pick any unit to get buffed, for any reason, if you like them, you think they deserve it, whatever it is, who would you pick? Anybody gets buffed. Antonio, that's a pick. Gilius. Jason buff would be nice. Caligula and Boudica. Man, Boudica's had quite a few buffs at this point. Yeah, Sanson's pretty high on my list. Jekyll, I'm glad somebody said it, because out of everyone in the game, he definitely deserves it the most. Yeah, Jekyll's up there for me. Jekyll, Sanson. I like them, and they need it. Did I use his 3rd skill? I did. Castergill. Castergill just got one. He's looking pretty good since he got that NP buff. Guessing he's like your favorite. We're talking about servants that can be saved. Hey, Sanson can be saved. Like, Sanson absolutely can be saved. I don't know about, I don't know about Jekyll. I mean, he can be saved. Like, if you put me in charge, I could fix it in 5 minutes. But with this, like, what the style of buffs that they do and what they're willing to do and how they approach buffing, I don't see them fixing Jekyll and Hyde anytime soon. Like, they have like a formula that they follow with buffing, and there's really no way they're fixing him quickly. Who knows, maybe they'll do a more significant thing for— Why did I was like, he's counterclassing, it'll do damage. That did nothing. I guess he is 45 with no foe items, but that was pathetic. Can you stop with the critting? I almost, like, that would have been so bad if I got Mordred killed there. Okay, well, she's got it. Underestimate a pumpkin and you almost die for it. With the way DW buffs things, if they buff Jekyll and Hyde twice in a row, like boom boom, that could fix him. But with a single buff, with the way they do it, they're not gonna fix him. And I don't even know if they're gonna buff him because, I mean, they've ignored him for a really long time. Man, I almost died here. I mean, they use Jekyll and Hyde actually in event stories a decent amount. And like, they've even mentioned how his Saint graph isn't proper and all that stuff because he's, you know, not the prototype version. But they still don't do anything with it. I don't know, chat, maybe we're gonna have a prototype event with the Beastie. And we'll get all the prototype hype, and Jekyll will get fixed up. I would love a prototype event, man. Get a Proto-Coup animation update, get a Jekyll animation update. Yeah, it probably is copium. Some people think the monster Satan thing at the end of the Halloween event is 666. I don't think so. I think it's more likely to be like the Horror of Babylon nonsense. We'll see. Yeah, Fate Hollow would be nice. Because they already added Karen, though, it kind of makes it harder for them to do a Fate Hollow thing. Like, they don't have— like, they could do an event where, like, Bizet is in the event, but like, doing a full-on collab would be hard now. You could do it, like, you make Bizet the welfare or something. You could add an alternate class of somebody, stuff like that. Like, there are ways to do it. Like, what else could they do? Let me think. I'm trying to think if there's any other Fate Hollow stuff that they could do. I mean, Perseus, kind of. He's in a flashback. I don't know if that really counts, but I mean, you could do it if they wanted to. Yeah, you could do Coup costume, you know, that kind of thing. Onger animation update. Like, there's stuff there, but they gotta be able to rate— if there's gonna be a collab, it means it has to have a welfare and it has to have a new servant, right? And you could make Bizet a new servant or the welfare, but that's only one thing. You have to have something else. But you could do an alternate class for somebody. Kid Gill probably needs an animation update more than Ongra, but they're about the same. Alright, let's go do some strengthening quests. At least Arash's. That's gotta be done, because we need it for Babylonia. Okay, so we got an Antilante one. These are just the interludes. Look, that's 2 buffs from interludes right there, right? So, and then we got these, and then most of these unlock another stage. So there's— oh god, oh, I'm gonna die. All right, well, I guess we'll start with Arash. At least this one's only 2 arrows. It's not too bad. Yeah, honestly, if this was my main account, right, this wouldn't be so bad, right? It's kind of like a structured thing. It's like, okay, we do this for a day or 2, right? But it's an alt account, so it's pretty painful. I like how they force you to bring in Arash, and then the one they make you— you can't even have his 3rd skill right now. And he doesn't have the story support CE. Garbage. Oh my god, Atalante doesn't have her 3rd skill. And she doesn't have her upgraded NP either, but she has her upgraded 1st skill. Oh god. Alright, okay, that's it. That's today's stream. We're gonna— I don't mean we're finishing. I mean, like, today's stream is gonna be all these stupid interludes and strengthening quests. I'm getting this done. This has gotta go, man. Nonsense over here. All right, we'll do that. Do need to get my CE sorted here at some point. He needs bond. She needs bond. Wait a minute. We need that. There we go. I doubt we'll actually get far enough back to need any of these. Man, there's a big part of me that wants to just burn all the golds that I know I won't use on this account and get... yeah, we'll do an account review. That'll happen. But anyway, burn all the golds I know I won't use and get Anniversary Blonde. I really do want to work on that. Feathers aren't too hard to get in the long run, but they can be a bit of an issue sometimes. When you play for a long time, generally silver mats are not a big deal because the ratio in which they're given out from events and in which they drop relative to how many you need is really forgiving ultimately. Weirdly enough though, gold mats are the most forgiving, which makes absolutely no sense, but the only time gold mats are bad is when there's a new servant and a new mat that is added fresh and you have none of them and there's no event for them and then you're like behind. And then maybe they add another servant that needs them, right? Then those can be bad, but like eggs are bad early on, but in the long run, eggs are nothing, right? Like they're super easy in the long run because the amount that you need is actually pretty small because there's not that many servants that use them. So then relative to how many they give out from guaranteed story drops, interludes, and then event shops, it actually ends up being really, really easy. It's only bad if you were like grabbing every egg servant as soon as they were added and you need to level all of them, but even then you'll get done with that way before you'd get done with a lot of the other mats in the game because there's just so many more servants that use them. That's pretty common though for new mats. It's just like, because the thing about old mats is their new characters can use them just as much as they can use new mats, right? So old mats get used just as much as new mats for new servants, but then old servants that are already in the game only use old mats. So the newer a mat, generally the easier it is to get, or the easier it is to deal with. It's just bad early on because you haven't had the chance to get it from events and all that yet. But like bells, the new bells, they're annoying, but that was because you couldn't even farm them at first. But like compared to Void Dust or whatever, it's not a big, like fucking Scatty uses like was it 150 Void Dust or something, and she's one servant, right? Like, and here's what happens. This is what's so bad about FGO when it comes to farming. So you have a lot of servants that will use the same mats, especially Void Dust, Hero Proofs, Bones, that the chains, those kinds of things. And so what can happen is you can run out easily, right? You level 1 or 2 servants for like you use hero proofs or something, and you're out of hero proofs. Then you get a new character that uses hero proofs, and they need like 200 of them, and you have 0. That takes, it's trying to actually farm that is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of AP, right? It's just that you have to do literally even if you do the best stage in the game for hero proofs and you just do it over and over and over and over, like it's going to take ages. And then an event comes up and you get 30 of them. 30 of them. It's like, oh, great, I'm saved, right? Like it's just so awful like that. Pirate ship is eternal, indeed. What I generally do when I don't even need them, like I have plenty of mats on hand from an event or whatever, I do the America stage because it drops hero proofs at a pretty good rate. Not the best in the game, but a good rate. Like it's not as good as the pirate ship, but it's up there. And then you also get Void Dust at a really good rate. So it gives me like a buffer, so if I ever end up needing like 200 of them, I don't have to farm that many. Or I might even have the 200. I'm trying to think what silver mat on my different accounts gives me the most trouble. Probably Golem cores, just because a lot of the default servants, and even Mash, I think, uses them. They're not that hard to obtain, in events they're pretty generous in like the number that you get and stuff, but there is a lot of like fundamental servants that you're going to level that all need them. I've never found feathers that bad. I've definitely, on a new account, I've definitely been like, oh shit, I'm out of feathers. But they're not that hard to farm. There's not too many fundamental units that use them. Horseshoes can be a problem. There is a lot of servants that use them, but they're also quite easy to get because like their free quest actually has one of the more generous drop rates. And you don't normally need, like, silver mats you just don't need as many of as you do bronze mats. So it's not too bad. Silver mats can be really annoying though on a new account just because you may not have unlocked a good free quest for them. And although you may not need as many as bronze mats, you still need a decent chunk of them. Yeah, bones and proofs kind of get everybody at some point. That's just how it is. You need too many of them, and just so many servants use them. I mean, I wonder, there's probably someone out there that has just miraculously, like, all the rare stuff they like, only maybe 1 or 2 of them needs the staple bronze mats, and then they haven't really needed to or wanted to level, like, the 1 to 3 stars that use them. And so they just haven't had to deal with that many, right? Unlikely, because there's so many, but there's probably a few people out there that have had good fortune in that department. I actually find pages outrageously easy because their drop rate is also insanely good. They drop in a lot of interludes and that kind of thing. There are a lot of people that use them, but I'm not sure I've ever really been cock-blocked by pages on any of my accounts, and I have quite a few of them. But almost every other silver mat has made a problem for me, at least early on. I'd probably say Golem cores, though. There's a lot of fundamental servants that use Golem cores. I even have had problems with them on like older accounts occasionally. Not for very long. It's not it's not nearly as bad as bronze mats, but I've had a few times where I run out of Golem cores. Generally, though, if you run out of Golem cores or any silver mat, if you just kind of keep playing the game and you do the events and stuff, it doesn't take that long to kind of catch up on them because you don't use them at the volume that you use a lot of other stuff. Unless you're a whale. I'll say this, if you're like a whale, especially like a Leviathan, because you're getting every new servant, every mat is generally a problem at that point. Yeah, statues are annoying when you're brand new, when you're brand spanking new, but they become a joke pretty early on. Nah, he's probably not gonna do 75k. Unless this counts as a giant, which actually it might. Well, let's find out. I guess we do have a lottery event coming up kind of soon, most likely. They normally do a lottery for Christmas. That's good. We haven't had one in a little bit, and I'm definitely feeling the pain on my ult accounts, so I'll probably... I want to play the 1 to 3 star account, honestly, during a lottery event, but I should play the Sinnoh account because it's done so little farming. It has no skill gems. I should at least give it like a nice fundamental chunk of skill gems, and then if I don't play it, get it like skill gems after that, it's not too big of a deal. The Herg account's in pretty good shape. It could use a few skill gems maybe, but I don't think I'd play it much in a lottery event. I'd probably do like the default 10 and that's it. Theoretically, I should play my main account a lot, but... oh wow, I thought this was later. I remember this being a thing, but I thought it was later. What's the plan here? I guess get David's NP again. No need to quick chain anyway. Let's not wipe here. We kind of have the wrong units for this, though. This in the back row. Lancer skill gems are definitely the hardest for me because I just like Lancers a lot. So it's normally Lancer and Saber are the two I have the most problems with. But in like temporarily, almost anything can screw me over. But I almost always am out of Lancer gems. Or oftentimes the other stuff I'm kind of just sitting there and I've got a good number of them. I could do a lot of damage with normal cards here, but I want to get David's NP. At least caster gems are objectively the easiest to get. It's just there's so many, like, even if you're a whale, you're probably going to want to level Chen Gong and some of the other, you know, Asclepius. You know, there's a good number of free-to-play casters you're going to want to level. And then if you're a whale, you're probably going to get some of the rarer casters too. So there's just a very large... Like, you can get away with only leveling 2 Lancers for ages, right? Like, ages. You can level, like, 1 single target and 1 AoE of, like, every class, and you don't have to level any more than that for a really long time outside of maybe a very specific you know, boss fight and stuff. So you don't need that many skill gems if you're only leveling 1 or 2 units for each class. But there's no way you're only leveling 1 or 2 casters, right? Nobody does that. Like, free to play or whale, either one, you're going to level a lot more casters than that. And if you are free to play, then you're definitely leveling Hans, you're definitely leveling Shengong, probably Mozart, and then you're going to want to level at least 1 DPS one, so Babbage or Caster, Ku, something like that. Hohenheim is not a must level, although he is a pretty common one. And he is good. Like, he is certainly good. He'll help you farm and that kind of thing. 1 turn and I get my attack up. I don't want to risk it. If he gets crit or something, he could die here. He probably won't, but... What AoE Lancers are worth leveling? Honestly, if you're talking about free-to-play, that means it's just Hector and Romulus. And I always say, I honestly don't recommend leveling either of them early on an account life. Like, they're just not worth it. Even though it might make farming a few stages a bit harder, you can fill in those gaps with Arash, Spartacus, so your friend support and stuff, and it's not worth it. I hate saying that because I like Hector and Romulus both a lot, but they're just not worth the effort. Yeah, Darius is better, right? Like, it's just, you're gonna get a lot more boom for your buck. If it was me and like I made a new account, like the Steno account here, if I had to, if the game was like to let your next level up must be either Hector or Romulus, so I would pick Romulus. No, not like Hector's bad or anything. He has okay damage, and if you the reason though is for Hector to shine, he needs skill ranks. Like he really needs skill ranks. Where Romulus can at baseline performs pretty well, so I'd be more okay with that. And Romulus just having the battery is useful for a new account and that kind of thing. But Hector does have the nice team support with his upgraded first skill and stuff. Like, I mean, hey, like, neither of them are bad. They're just not like that. They're not like Medusa, right? They're not like this just go-to, you know, really solid AoE option that is just like, you know, really universal and, you know, very practical. It's not like that at all. I am glad to be getting these stages done. I might just say screw it and summon whatever here so we get through these faster. Because we have quite a few. Darius is definitely a good level up. The only reason this account hasn't leveled him is because I've been doing so much more of the main story than farming that AoE has been a lower priority. What's my best neutral DPS? We'll just use Steno, it should be fine. I'm excited though, once we get these interludes done, this account is going to be a lot stronger. If they give Ku the ability to do an AoE and P, like, you know, Death Flight, that's so broken. Like, you'll just never need to level another budget Lancer, and that's dumb. I love Ku and everything, but it's like, I want the other Lancers to have uses, because I just like Lancers in general, right? I like Hector and Romulus, Diarmid, you know, I like these characters, so, and I've already leveled them for God's sake, so I'd like to have some use for them. I should have given George the Canith. I almost just blurted it out there. Like, I almost yeah, I can just say it, right? No, no problem. I wasn't even thinking about that there. Just walk right into it. Normally once Canith comes out of my mouth though, I'm like, wait a minute. Normally reminds me. I don't know why I didn't cast Guts. Yeah, I about played myself there. Maybe he's not here. You never know. You know, I got away with it one time, I remember. There was one time I got away with it, but then Lost was here, and he didn't stand for that. But there was another time that I just straight got away with it, so it was good. And dude, the stupidest time, though, ever was when I was playing Earth Defense Force with Cairo and Poi Poi, and I said it, and on purpose, Because Lost, that doesn't, you can't do that. That doesn't, you can't do that. That's just cheating. But thank you for the gifted sub. Oh, I wonder why. Anyway, I was playing Earth Defense Force with Cairo and Poi Poi, and I said it on purpose, because I was basically saying how I can say it when I'm not, you know, streaming, and it's, you know, I say it all the time, and then Poi Poi fucking gifted me a sub. I wasn't streaming. I wasn't streaming Earth Defense Force. We were just playing it. And he didn't even say anything. And the only reason I knew it was because I think I still had my stream up from streaming earlier or whatever, and I just saw it pop up. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what a nerd. Alright, we're only on wave 2 here. That's a cool skill animation. Oh, we're fighting all the jacks. At least Jack got an animation update. Unfortunately, she didn't get pants. Can't do 50k here unless I NP. Still got evade though. Hey, at least somebody got a gifted sub out of it though. Yeah, she got pants in arcade. I wish we got more costumes. Like, they could just charge $5 for them and we'd get way more costumes. It'd be great. We could get, like, Atalante's APOC, you know, promotional thing, and Spartacus's. That would be great, dude. Cop Spartacus. Not the best deck shuffle, but we're fine. Even if there were $20, it'd still be alright in my opinion. And like, because here's the thing, I don't spend money on FGO. And I actually wish that wasn't the case, because I like FGO and I want to support the game. I don't want it to fail. Of course I don't. You know, I want them to be able to make content and that kind of thing. I want them to be able to hire more artists and do animation updates quicker and all these things. So I'm happy to support the game, but I don't want to gamble. I'm not going to gamble on this fucking game. So I want them to add, you know, different monetization stuff. So if they added like Hawaiian shirt coup for $20, I would happily spend that. Because here's the thing, I have gotten like 5 years of fun out of this game, right? Even though there's been ups and downs, I've overall very much enjoyed my time with this game. I've been playing it for over 5 years or whatever, and I've barely spent anything on it, right? It's crazy, right? So I'm happy to put some money into the game because, you know, if anything, I owe it to the game. But you know, again, I'm not going to gamble, so. Like, it really is frustrating. You know, I have the money and I want to support the game, and because I play the game so much, you know, it deserves some of my money, but because I'm freeloading over here. But you know, there's no world where I just gamble on the fucking gacha. There's no safety net, none of that. And they just refuse to add any other monetization, right? Like all these other games, like, okay, if you don't want the gacha, you can do the $5 a month thing, or, you know, you can buy the costumes, or, you know, that's fine, right? Now you can take it too far, right? Some games overly monetize and it feels like you can't breathe and you can't literally do anything without them wanting to nickel and dime you. But like, it's pretty easy to, like, I don't think FGO would feel that way. Like, seriously, the game is as it is now, and then it's like you can spend $5 per month, and then you get like way more SQ than $5 is worth over the month, right? That's what a lot of other games do. So that's something they could do. I don't think that would make the game feel like they're nickel and diming you or any of that, right? And then you could add, you know, you still give out free costumes at about the same rate that we give them, which is like almost none, but you know, you still do that. And then you add, you know, paid costumes a lot more regularly, and they're between, you know, $10, $20, maybe even more than that for really premium stuff. I don't think that'd be, you know, nickel and diming. I don't think that'd make the game feel bad. I don't think that's scummy. I think that's totally fine. And then you add a safety net. So it's like, okay, you spent you got halfway to the safety net with your free SQ. You can buy the other half if you want to, right? And again, you don't have to change the race. You don't have to do anything. I think not only would they make more money that way, I think the game would feel less scummy that way, and I think we'd get more content that way. We'd certainly get more costumes that way, and then maybe they would actually hire more staff to do, you know, more content, more animation updates, and all that. I don't know if they would though, because historically they haven't seemed to have done that kind of thing. That might be changing though with some of the interviews he's done lately. I'm kind of hoping they're gonna up their game when it comes to like their staff, because like there was this one interview with them with DW that I'm surprised they said what they said. They were basically like, yeah, we'd hired some new staff, but like it sounded like not a lot, and they pretty much said in like a roundabout way that, you know, they were unhappy with like the rate at which they were able to, you know, get stuff done with the staff that they have, right? Which I was so shocked that they said that, because that you don't really see Japanese companies say things like that. And you know, they said it in a polite way, but they were pretty clearly saying that yeah, they'd hired a little bit more staff, but it just wasn't resulting in, you know, they weren't getting done what they wanted to get done. So I'm hoping that means they're going to try to, you know, fix that. Oh my god, I know the PvP though. I hope that doesn't happen. Dude, doing the $5 thing, because here's the thing, I didn't spend any money on Genshin either when I never bought the currency, right? I never bought rolls, and not once. Like, I can still open up my Genshin Impact right now, and you know, you got that first time purchase thing where you get double. Never bought it. I never bought a single thing. But I was still able to give that game some money, right? Because I would do like the $5 a month thing. And, you know, I got good value from it. And they got $5 a month out of me where they otherwise would have gotten 0. And that goes for, I think, a lot of people. Hey, Vertfire or something, Vertifire, that's the one. Really bad at this. Thank you for the 8 months, though. How are you doing? Windows 10 sounds, by the way. I think I need to get a new, thing that connects my phone to my PC, because I noticed it, like, you breathe on it and it disconnects. What was I saying? DW stuff. Arknight, does Arknights have a $5 a month thing? I didn't even notice. I've been playing that game again recently and I did not notice that. I'll have to check. I don't, here's the thing with Arknights, I think their business model's pretty fair, and you can get costumes and all that, but I don't even want to roll in Arknights very much. I rolled on Rainbow Six and I've never rolled again, and I haven't even wanted to roll again. So I don't see any need, and like, they let you get costumes in Arknights without spending money. You basically can use free SQ, like you don't have to get bought SQ, you can buy the costumes with free SQ. And so on the rare occasion that they add a costume that I want, and because I'm not rolling, it's nothing, and it's super easy for me to get the costumes. And if they ever do add another unit that I want in Arknights, I'll probably just have such a mountain of SQ saved up that I can just get it and it won't be a problem. So as much as I like Arknights, and even though I think their business model is quite reasonable, I just don't see the need for me to spend any money over there. They give you some stam pots, so that'd be nice. Like apples, they give you apples, that's not too bad. I would probably, because I like Arknights, I would probably spend $5 a month on it if I wanted to roll more often. Like if they had like more characters that I wanted and they were adding things more often that I wanted, I'd probably do it. Because I'm happy to support the game, and that would be nice, but I just don't have any reason to fucking roll in that game. I feel like I'm not gonna roll in Arknights again until the Rainbow Six rerun happens, and I'll just roll on that again. Like I can totally see that happening. Because I've definitely gone a year in FGO without wanting to roll on anything, and then in Arknights I think that's even more likely. Because FGO definitely has more characters in it that I like than Arknights does. Because although FGO's been really bad about it recently, generally FGO does a good job of like having male characters and low star characters. They've been bad about that recently, but I'm hoping that's temporary. This year has really sucked though. Like they've added like 3 males in the last year. Pretty terrible. I actually might want to NP here. Maybe I should get David's MP. Let's see if he can get it. If he gets attacked here, he'll probably get it. Not quite. Oh, always lucky. Is David Brunhilder beloved? Son of a bitch. Damn it, David. That doesn't surprise me, though. What does surprise me is why Canis has it. That one I truly do not understand. If you, like, I almost think it's like a meme, because, like, when you look at historically who they've given it to, and, like, you know, kind of what Brunhilder's criteria is, Canis doesn't meet it at all. So I am absolutely, it's weird. I feel like they did it as more as like a joke. $120. Like, the trait's not that weird. Like, if you look at who has it, there's a pretty consistent theme with it, but Canis is super out of nowhere. I don't think DW is the one that picks who has it. I think it's Type Moon. I do feel like, though, in the last like 2 years, they've actually really changed it, and they're kind of giving it out. Like, it used to be almost no females would have it, even if they had like the kind of personality type you might expect. It was pretty much just Ushi for so long, and now they're like throwing them out like crazy. So I think they've kind of changed how they're doing it, which is kind of silly. I'll take this Void Dust. And we're going to do Babylonia soon, so it's even more Void Dust. It'll evaporate in no time. At least Atalante is going to have her third skill here. I could do Pants. She doesn't have a starting NP, but she's a pretty good carry for a wimpy account. Hold on 1 second. I need to get water, and it's weird. I thought I had it. Like, I got water before the stream, but I think I left it in the kitchen. I'm brilliant. Yep. Full glass of water, just sitting there by the kitchen counter. I'm really good at this. Yeah, I was drinking my tea at the start of the stream. Nice try, IC. You're too slow. Chat, I have a unfortunate confession to make, and I truly don't understand how this happened, and I'm very upset, and I hope there's a way to rectify it soon. I had recorded in good footage, and, like, you know, where there's not other mobs in the way, nice and clean. I had all the animations of the shark mob, and I was just gonna hold on to it until they brought back the big Nobus and stuff, and I was gonna record all of the trash mobs in the game that had really cool animations, but somehow I lost the footage, and I don't know how I did that, but I somehow got rid of it. So, and the shark mobs are not in the game normally, so I have no way of recording it again. So, not happy about that. Really hope those mobs come back soon. I'm kind of worried we won't see them again until another summer event, because they're pretty outside, you know, you're not going to see them in the main story, right? Maybe someone's interlude will probably have them at some point. Like, surely they'll find a way to use them in like an interlude or something. So, yeah, messed that one up. And they have good animations too. So, and I got some nice footage. Like, I had one where they like attacked and then crit and stuff like that. So it looked pretty good. Like, you had to have them attacking the same target and all that. Okay, it's just regular Jack here. Some mobs, though, they don't use often. Like, there are some mobs that they use very rarely, and I think they're going to be one like that, because they're not really serious, so you're not going to see them in, like, the main story. You'll see them in events, and, you know, potentially interludes and stuff, but That's probably it. Not the opening hand that I would have liked. Yeah, definitely the summer rerun, but I wanted to make that video, you know, sooner rather than later, but maybe not. Yeah, it's true. Every once in a while, the main story does something silly. That is true. Lost Belt 6, though, was way sillier than most. You know, I was thinking about just doing the bus strut now, but it's not. This is Atalante's third skill unlock. Because, you know, you gotta murder children to get Atalante's proper abilities. Come on, give me deck shuffle. Give me my art card on pants, Galatea, or whatever. Senna is quite a bit bigger than Jack. Kind of unexpected. That is not an art card. Game, work with me here. Buster Chain it is. I mean, this game doesn't kill my wallet, but you know, I have odd tastes and I'm happy to free to play, but if you want to free to play, this game is completely reasonable and it's you'll get golds and all the low star units are quite usable and useful. So it's very free to play friendly, but you know, it's up to the individual, like how much they're gonna want to roll, and like, you know, it depends on the person really. But for me, it's easy to be free to play. Okay, guess I just do this. There's no way for her to die here, even if she gets NP'd. We don't have a date for Lost Belt 7, but Lost Belt 6.5 is probably in December. Because they pretty much always put out a main story in December. So it'll probably be 4 to 8 months after that. Huh, she actually got around our defense up. I wonder if that was because of the anti-female? Or does Jack ignore defense? Let me see, I can't remember if Jack ignored. I know she has a half upgraded NP, which is really weird. But if she ignored defense, that would make sense. Yep, she ignores defense. Well, good thing we had double guts. This account is so weak, but it's going to get stronger here in a minute because we are upgrading some of its servants and their AoE ones, which we need. I'm actually surprised at how strong my Herc account is, and it's not just because of Herc. I was looking at it, that account's pretty prepared. I mean, it's got pretty rounded budget stuff. I don't remember really farming on that account that much, so I'm surprised it actually got that far. When I was playing it the other day, I was like, damn, this thing actually has options. You know what's crazy? If I wanted to turn my 1 to 3 star account into a real account, it would actually be really strong. Obviously, it's never leveled a single gold, but it's got high skill ranks and all the fundamental low stars, and it's gotten a lot of good craft essences that we can't use because they're not 3 stars. But you know, it has K-scope and all kinds of other stuff, and it's got a lot of the like solid low star stuff at like 10, 10, 10 and stuff like that. Man, this took forever. It's because we didn't have starting NP. It just took so long to get the damage rolling. I also didn't bring servants to support the pants. But yeah, if you want to free to play this game, it's like level your 1 to 3 stars, make sure you've got a rounded base, you know, you've got units of each class and AoE and single target and support, and then you'll get golds, like absolutely. And it's a pretty fun experience actually. I think beating the big bosses and everything with the free-to-play units, and whatever rare gold units you do get is pretty fun to do. And there's a lot of variety with the low stars, so. Yeah, I have not even logged into the 1 to 3 star account in ages. I don't farm on it like at all. I should. I think it can beat all of Lost Belt 3. I think it's the hard parts we've already beaten. Right? Like you and Horsebindo and Lee's students. Those are really hard on that account, but it's already past it, so. Like Mothman will be hard. I don't think Mothman will be easy, but I'm very confident that account can do it if I just get a little lucky and figure out a good setup. I don't have a lot of gears, but you need so many hero proofs in the long run. I think we pick hero proofs. Even if in the short term I need gears for something. Let me see. I'm assuming I can't level Jason. What am I saying? Yeah, skill gems. That's what we're gonna need. But I bet you I'll be able to get David though second skill to 10 during Christmas on this account, because I think I can get to the point where all it's gonna need is these skill gems. Hey, with how new this account is, it's expected for it to not pass the David test. Oh right, we already beat London. What? My brain, I was like, are we in London? It's like, no, we're doing an interlude. It's because that stage you're fighting Jack. I was like, wait a second. Okay, we need to do... Am I literally gonna use apples just to do interludes? Because I could just go play my main account and go mess around with the challenge quest. I'll use one go. No. Let's go play the main account. It sucks. I do want to get this done, but it's just there's no reason to use apples right now. Like there's absolutely none. And I want to mess around on the main account anyway. Okay, give me a second here. I mean, there's not much to talk about with the new servants because they're pretty, I don't know, mundane gameplay-wise. Nothing very abnormal to talk about. They're not weak or anything, but they're just standard as fuck. And I obviously don't like them in terms of like character design. Which I don't think that's surprising anybody. Trying to get, there we go. Samsung Dex wasn't wanting to work. Yeah, I don't like the new Foreigner. That's pretty dumb to take an already existing male character, and I don't mean in history, an already existing male character in Fate, and in gender bending it so arbitrarily like that. Not a fan. They could have just made it a new character. I think if they wanted to make a female, you know, evil knight that's got Foreigner stuff going on, they could just make a new character or base it on a different character, like, or just make an OC like they did with Kiara and Chloe and all that, right? There's a million options there. Oh yeah, what do I need to do on this account to finish the event? Because I didn't really play the account yesterday. I think you need 600k in each. So I'm basically done with red. Like one more stage, I'll be done with red. And then if I pick the stage that drops the blue and gold, it's probably like four or five more stages. So it's super close to being done. I've only been using natural AP on this account though, and I've actually whiffed. I've whiffed some AP, so it's actually gone pretty well. I've gained apples. Alright, let's, we've sold this with a few units, let's mess about. We'll use some people, though, that are hopeless and they're not going to be able to solo it, and we'll just see how far they can get for funsies. Okay, did we try Gareth? I can't remember. I feel like we did, and she, like... Yeah, I remember. She made it to, like, the end of the second health bar, but we had, like, that horrible RNG where all of her bursts went into a health bar. They had, like, 5k left. We'll give her another go here, though, see if she can do a little bit better. Can we, are you here in chat? Because, This is not a good CE for her because it stops her from using her own guts. And honestly, this CE is normally guts craft essences that are bonuses are good for challenge quests if you're soloing. This one is not, because it brings you back at 1 HP and the boss drains your health by 1,000 after the turn. So you just die, right? Like it literally does not even buy you a turn. I would go with the, let me think. It's either obviously the Cleo one or the Herbertrot one. The Cleo one gives us stars and I think NP gain, or the Herbertrot one gives us starting NP and then full health, which is not good. Yeah, I figured you could do this with Leo. Everyone was saying you couldn't because of the armor ignore, but I was like, I'm pretty sure you can get around that. I figured it was doable. Her hit count is just high enough, right? Her hit count is just high enough so he can live forever. Let's go with the Cleo one. I think the NP gain might be what we want, and the stars are good, so. So far, my favorite one to solo this with was, a Percival. That was really fun. I actually enjoyed it with Ku. Obviously, Ku was like overkill and he could do it pretty easily. But you did have to play a little bit abnormally because of the second health bar. If you went like gas, 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 it actually wasn't good. And that was kind of fun. What does she want? I'm not sure she wants Atlas. She might want default. Yeah, I'm gonna try default. Let's see if that lets her live long enough. Oh, you may not have like changed the like done anything to update the support list. Well, we'll use her and see how far she gets, but Guts is definitely bad here. Okay, never mind. This opening hand is so bad, I'm okay with just resetting anyway. Yeah, I could see the Lolly Dragon doing it, considering that like 3 stars, a 2-star, and a 4-star are doing it. I would hope a lot of the 5 stars could do it, although some of them can't because some of them just don't have like the survivability. There's a minimum amount of survivability you have to be able to do this, and some of the 5 stars are just not going to have that. But she does. She has invulnerability, so she should be fine. I was pretty surprised that Ereshigal did it though, because she's AoE and all that, but she actually did it pretty smoothly. I was surprised that Percival did it though, even though he is a good solo unit. He's still AoE, right? And this is a single target fight. And he's a 4-star. And mine wasn't like Omega Grailed or anything, it was just 90. It was just 10 to 10, 90, no passives. So I was actually really surprised he did it. I haven't used Enkidu yet, but I'd be so shocked if he couldn't. Right? If Ku could only do it because of his like debuff clear and funky stuff like that, then Enkidu might have a hard time. But Ku does it with pretty much just a straight value check, and Enkidu is pretty on par with him for that kind of thing, so... And he's got a crit down. Crit down is incentivized here, right? You get more boom for your buck if you have crit down here than normal. So Enkidu there's no reason Enkidu can't do it. I don't think Super Romulus can do it, to be honest. He does have hard survival, but he doesn't have like that kind of just broken, you know, value for like survivability to damage ratio. And his invulnerability is actually not that good for a fight like this, so I don't think he can do it. He might be able to do it though if he's like super upgraded, right? If he's like NP5, level 100 or even higher, stuff like that. This sucks. We're getting like no. I love how you have a 50% chance to get a Brave Chain on your solo unit because it's 10 cards and you get 5. And then if you don't get a Brave Chain, you still have a really good chance of getting 2 cards. But then this shit happens. He's probably not gonna be able to break. She's gonna screw us. Lancer Artoria, probably not. Lancer Artoria is actually not that bad in a solo, but it has to be a burst fight, right? It has to be one where you need upfront value, and some fights are like that, but this fight's like the opposite of that, where it's very, you must have a certain degree of survivability, and she doesn't have any, so she'd have a bad time. She could work in a team, though, of course. I think I have to cast my first skill now, and then hope for a miracle where we break here. That's a waste of your crits. Huge waste of our crits. I want the attack buff. I'll Probably get my NP without it, but yeah, I'll grab the attack buff. If I don't break here, we lose anyway. That was terrible for Gareth. Good start. There we go. Alright, she's got it. Oh, just triple crit. Easy. Didn't even need the last one. Has anyone tried Booty Lancer? She's actually better in a solo than you might think. She's not the best ever by any means, but... Wait, why did I do that? There's literally no reason to have the counter attack here. Like, that doesn't do a damn thing, because this is the turn where we have to, get rid of the shields. Like, we wanted our NP, but, yeah, that didn't do nothing. So I want to crit. So I guess I do that. The highest chance of critting, and it gets me my refund. This gets rid of Buster and then NP, so that's 2 shields right there. And then this one only has a chance for the crit. The Buster doesn't matter. Didn't crit. Okay, that one did. There we go, with an extra attack, so that gets rid of a lot. I still need to do a quick attack. It's really important that you get rid of 6 on the first, like, go, because... You normally, if you go around long enough to where she, you know, gets the shields back, you're not going to be able to get rid of 6 again, most likely. You're only going to get rid of, like, 4. And then you can only get rid of 10. So if you get rid of 6 the first time, then you only get rid of 4 the second time, you're fine, right? Because you have more time with the first ones, you want to get as many as possible. Because that's the thing, when these come back, you're not going to have as much time with them, right? You're going to have, like, 1 turn to try to get rid of them. So you don't want, you're not going to do 6 in 1 turn generally unless you get really lucky, so... It's better to get the 6 done first. So I need to crit, I need to do a quick card, so I guess... Oh no, I don't need a crit, I just need the quick card. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna have to do this again though. She needs to have the beginning go very smoothly. She needs to be able to save her burst damage. Because she can't live super long. Like, I needed to have not used my first skill yet. I need to, like, cast it now. Like, if I cast it right now, I think she'd actually be in good shape. I guess I gas. I don't think she can wait around and get the other shields off. I like that about a Reshigal. A Reshigal doesn't have to wait until the shields come back. She can just go and then go into the next health bar with the 6. I don't think Atlas would be better here because I don't think she'd go around the wheel smoothly enough. And I think if you lose the heal from default, it's really bad. But it depends. It was not right for Percival. Like, it absolutely... I think if Percival was, like, level 100, it might have been, because then he would have lived longer on his own. But, for a 90 Percival, default was absolutely better. Oh, fuck. Okay, we'll give her another go here. I don't think she can beat this, and well, if she can, she'd need like very specific command codes and like a different craft essence, and like if you have to find a way to get way more survivability, basically. I wonder how Lancer Artoria does. Did we ever try? I did try Canis a little bit, and I didn't beat it, but I saw that she could beat it because I didn't really try that much with her. I should try more. Oh my god. Hold on, we gotta do this. These are not the right command codes for the most part, but we gotta do it anyway. He definitely wants default. There's no way he lives long enough for Atlas. Well, actually, with his female attack down, maybe. Disappoint time. Probably. He's so cool though. Guys, he's just as good as Ku, right? Good hand, good hand. I like that. I so wish they would buff his third skill so it increased his hit count like Masashi's does, because that fits him lore-wise, because he has the 2 spears and he's very skillful and everything. I think, and he did the whole trick thing with hiding the 1 spear and everything. I think that'd be great. And then if you increase his hit count, that will increase his star gen, so his star gen up will actually work better because he has more hits to apply it to. And then it'll increase his NP gain, which really helps him, so he gets his NP nice and fast. And the cooldown's quite short, so it'd actually be really good. And while you're at it, you could add like an attack up to it or something like that as well. That'd be awesome. I think that would really help him because then he's making more stars, getting his NP a lot faster, which gives him like a reason to use him instead of Ku and such. And then you could add, again, a attack up or something like that, or even a battery or quick resist down or whatever you want to do. Okay, do I just do the attack down now? So her... I don't think this blocks it. So I won't evade then. We'll evade next turn. I don't need to NP. Although, I don't need to save the NP either. Because, you know what? I actually NP to remove her buffs. And then I can quick chain. That's actually nice. Dude, if Dearmid was actually just a little bit stronger, he would actually be really good for this stage because of his buff removal. I just thought of that. Because the whole thing that's annoying in this fight is the ridiculous amount of buffs she gives herself. But he can just keep removing them. That's awesome. But, yeah, I don't think he has enough, like, raw oomph. So if he just had some like minor buffs to give him like some more straightforward value, I think he'd be okay. I like her fucking critting me anyway. Oh my god, she double crit me. This is where we need the command codes because you can give her crit down through the command codes, which is a big help. Okay, he actually does want Atlas. I think he definitely wants Atlas then. Because I think he can go longer than I'm thinking. So I need to do every card type, but I also want to heal. I guess I do the lower crit chance. I'll do that. This will get rid of like 5 shields. Dearmid would actually be really good for this stage in a team setting. If I was going to do 1 to 3 stars, no one's grailed or any of that, I would use Dearmid. I would use Ku and Dearmid. That's absolutely what I would do, and it would work quite smoothly. Because Dearmid's here to just be a straightforward value, get some nuking in, and then get rid of her buffs. And that's more than good enough. And then Ku's there for because LOL value. Well, I guess I just NP here and get rid of her buffs. And then quick chain. Dude, I like BlazBlue copying FGO, but for all this stupid shit. Like, they copied their account system, and like, so much no safety net and all that kind of terrible stuff. Okay. Actually, I tell you what, man, his NP is pretty awesome here. If he had the right command codes, he might be able to do this. I might need to talk to Max and try to record this off stream, because, man, that'd be pretty awesome if he worked here. And Atlas is definitely the way. I think he might be able to do this. This is crazy. I don't even know what command codes would be right, though, because it's kind of weird with his buff removal, so it's a little tough to figure out what you'd want to do. Definitely not some of these, though. Like, this one's not doing anything and whatnot, but, I don't know, you might want the heal boost. He actually might be going too fast right now. We've gotten terrible luck, though. We've been crit so many times. We probably need the attack removal command code. Because, like, right there, if I'd had the attack removal, we would have taken a lot less damage. Because getting crit with the attack up is really annoying. So I need to not break this turn. I think you want the heal boost. I definitely think that's in the cards. I don't want to break. I don't even want to do that art card though. I think we do this. Yeah, I think he can do this with different command codes and Atlas. I think he can. Like, we're kind of far away from doing it now, but that's because we're getting crit like non-stop and we're missing out on a lot of value that we could be having. And like with Atlas, we could have attack down right there. See, what's gonna get us now is our health is too low. Where if I had Atlas and stuff, our health could probably be higher right now. Because we're gonna die to the drain, is what's gonna happen. Oh fuck, I broke. I wasn't paying attention. I broke, so we don't have the oh fuck, yeah, we're screwed now, but yeah, I think this is doable. I think this is doable because we broke, we don't have the shields off, so we're doing way less damage. The hard part about soloing this would just be figuring out what the command codes would be, because there's a lot of options. And it's not very straightforward because of his buff removal. If you can like, I don't know, maybe default Mystic Code is right with heal boost, because I'd heal for 1,500 more, and then you could heal for more with the heal command code as well. So I could have like 5,000 to 6,000 health right now. And if you worked in a crit down, so we didn't get crit as many times, I could actually have almost full health right now. I'm not even kidding. Like, yeah, I think he absolutely can do this, because we're missing value like everywhere, and our evade comes back next turn, and so on and so forth. We're probably gonna die right here though, but I definitely think he can do this. My ult doesn't have heal boost, damn it! Oh, damn it. I think it might be winnable without though. I mean, obviously it'd be really good, but it might be winnable without. That probably means Atlas is right then. Yeah, I absolutely think he can do this. That is crazy. He's probably the only other 1 to 3 star that can do it. Like, obviously Ku can, but I don't think any other 1 to 3 star could do it. You know what's sad is Baldy can't do this stage solo. He's not even that close. Where I think Deermid, if you really min-max it, can do it pretty smoothly. And this Deermid is not as upgraded as Kairo's Baldy. I don't know what chat is talking about right now, because they're like normally off on some random tangent that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. Let's see. Dude. That's so doable by Deermid. I want to try that again. I'll probably hammer that and like talk to Max and try to figure out the right command codes. Because I'd make a pretty cool video. I probably wouldn't post it for a little bit just because I already posted 2 videos for this. But, Deermid deserves some attention. Talking about ad units and not even trying hide, what? Yeah, imagining Jekyll and Hyde here. Oh my god. It'd be terrible, dude. Yeah, we could try a Brynhilder. Why is Max not showing up anymore? This game, dude. Brynhilder's problem is she just doesn't have any survivability. I'll wait for Beastly to do command codes and stuff. She has a heal, and that's it. And Zenobia NPs pretty often, so that is just not gonna work. Well, Max is dead, apparently. Did someone Sanson Max? Is that what happened here? Why does this Thinno account have regular Q slotted? I should probably fix that. Because like we specifically said not to use Q, and so we obviously haven't leveled him, so I don't know why he's the one slotted. What is going on? It's like these are the same like 4 people popping up over and over again. How can I summon green too, but I can't summon Max? Imagine Proto-Ku here, by the way. I haven't even tried that yet because I know it won't work. I know it won't work. There we go. I'll try Atlas, but this is something I'll probably have to do later, just because there's no way these are the right command codes, and command codes will definitely matter here, so we'll have to figure out like the best options. Sucks that we don't have heal boost, because I think that would be so good here, because it's going to come down to health. But really, Dearmid is better than I was thinking initially, just because this boss kills you through her NPing pretty rapidly, and then just having, she does so many attack buffs, crit buff, crit damage up, like she just does so much stuff like that, that with you just removing it all, it actually helps quite a bit. I love that the Vintox, Phantom guy, his bot is named Christina bot. I think that's such good flavor. It's amazing. I watched him do the Liz quest with the Phantom restrictions, but I haven't seen if he's done the Shadow Knights yet. That just seems like it's going to be the worst experience ever. He did? How did it go? And I forgot to use my fucking... I didn't use our second skill. He's cheesed it with revives? Damn. He gave up? Yeah, that's just... That is really tough for those restrictions. I assume he tried it for quite a while before doing that, I would hope, at least. But yeah, Phantom is so bad there. I bet you, though, Phantom might be able to work for the rerun because of Castoria and the buff removal. Like, those two things are huge in that fight. The moment he loaded into the fight, he realized it's impossible. I wish he would have given it, though, his best shot anyway and see how far you could get, because it might be better than one might think. It is impossible, though. Like, I don't think there's any way you could have done it with his restrictions. Yeah, they buffed Phantom, so he has buff removal on his charm. And his charm can work on anything instead of... Well, actually, I think it's still only male and female. Hold on, let me check. Because that's the thing. Some charms work on male and female, but they don't work on, like, genderless, giant boars, dragons, that kind of thing. But some do. Let me see. Nope, yeah, his works on anything. It doesn't have to be male, because like there's a lot that it's male and female, but not everything else. But his just charms anything, and then because of his third skill, obviously it's way over 100% chance to succeed. And then you get buff removal too, so that'll make him much better there. So hopefully on the rerun he'll give it a shake, because Castoria will make it a lot easier, and the buff removal will make it handy. So I like how we only got 2 cards there. That sucks. Please crit, we're gonna need it. Okay, let me actually use my second skill this time. I think I need to NP just to get rid of her buffs, and it makes sure I break. I might be able to, no, I don't think I could break. I don't have any crit chance, so I need to do it. Yeah, Gilfest, you're pretty awful with those restrictions. Because like Phantom is just so not only is he not like the strongest unit period in terms of just oomph, but his toolkit and like being AoE and everything is just so unapplicable to a lot of those situations, so he's just even more garbage than normal. Alright, I need to do Buster Quick Art. Need to crit. Thankfully, I've got a guarantee. I think I take the 1k heal here. So this should be 5 shields. The bad thing about I know why we went too fast last time. It's because we're NPing later, and that means we have 5 shields off, and my NP is doing a lot of damage. Where if I did it early to get the NP one removed, it wouldn't do a bunch of damage. So I need to be really mindful of that and try to do as little damage as possible over these turns. Dude, this is such a shame though, because Dyrmid is not as upgraded as like some of the other 100s we've used. And we don't have super good command codes because it's an ult account. If he was working with the same tools that some of the other units we've used, I think Dyrmid would do really well here. So I don't think I quick chain because I don't want to crit next turn. I need to do some like sloppy ass combo that's gonna do very little damage. I think I do that. I didn't want to do art because it might crit. He's not even level 100. Yeah, that 100 attack, you know. Damn, got crit there. At least she didn't have her buffs. Man, we needed that attack removal command code. Like right now, casting it would be a huge help. Because it lasts like what, 3 turns? So that's just so much damage it's gonna do over those 3 turns. I can Atlas and do the attack down now. I'd like to do it on the turn that I break though, because she gets those other buffs guaranteed. But I think I gotta do it. Dude, I think Dyrmid, if he had the right command codes, could just do so well here. Like, I think he might even do better than Q just because of the buff removal. I don't know. Q had a lot of excess value when he won, so that's a tall order. Like, if we had the attack removal, and because we have defense up right now, like, we wouldn't take much damage here, but now we're getting shredded. Okay, I need to not break here. And if we just had the heal boost, because I could have boosted both of these heals, and I could, whatever we're at after this turn, I'd have 1,000 health more then. Yeah, between that and removing the attack down, or attack up, I'd probably have like 2,000 more health right here, which that's pretty fucking significant. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Like, I'm quite sure he can do this. You just need the right tools for it. We're just taking way too much damage as is. In a team, he'd do really well for sure, but he absolutely can solo it. I think he can solo it about as smoothly as Q. You just need the same command, or not the same command codes, but like on par with the command codes. Like the reason we're struggling is because our command codes basically don't do anything. Like the only one that did anything was the heal one. Everything else was pointless. All right, let's do Brynhildr, and then I might try Romulus, but I know for a fact that's not gonna work. I don't think Guts is right on her. Well, actually it probably is, because she'll probably do so bad she won't even make it to the 3rd health bar with Guts. But like it won't. The Guts is terrible here, and I don't mean Guts isn't a skill. I mean the Guts craft essence, because you come back with 1 health and then she drains you for 1,000, you die anyway. So it does nothing. Like it doesn't do anything. Although I guess the crit bonus is good here. Yeah, Leo can do it, but that's because Leo is just, you know, kind of broken when the enemy has a high hit count. Dude, it takes forever, but there are Saber bosses that Leo can solo. Because if you get 100 or more defense, it doesn't matter if they're counterclassing you. It doesn't matter, they still do 0 damage. I figured she couldn't make it to the drain. You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. So this probably is the right call. And then the crit damage is nice, so. The only way it's wrong, I think, is if we just... It depends on how reliably she can break this health bar with normal cards. If she can't, like 5 stars are the most likely to be able to break this health bar with normal cards, but if she can't do it, then she's gonna want the starting NP. Yeah, Leo could probably beat Guadia. I'm trying to think, is there any reason he couldn't? There is all the debuffs, so that would be a bit of a problem. But you can remove debuffs with command codes. Yeah, he probably can do it. He probably already has. I can't think of any reason why he couldn't do that. It would take forever. It'd be really painful because it's not one. Because when Leonidas solos are smooth is when he can survive enough and then focus on doing some damage. Because he's got, you know, Buster up, attack up, make stars. So if he wants to do damage, he can actually do plenty of damage. But if you're having to play super defensively and focus on nothing but NP spam and never take damage opportunities, and then your NP does 0 damage, and then you're not counterclassing or whatever, it can take forever. Yeah, that's true. One bad thing about Leonidas would be the longer the fight goes, the more opportunities you're giving Guadia to do triple Buster, and that would be like no NP gain for you. So that could be a problem. You'd have to get probably pretty lucky then. Well, yeah, I suspect he can do it. Guadia's hit count is just so high. Because what can happen is, once you get the ball rolling, you can have over 100% defense, and even if one turn goes bad, you won't actually die. Then you've got your guts for a safety net and your Mysticode and stuff like that. So he probably can do it. It's just boring as hell, I would think. Can we do 175k? I could NP right now, but I don't think I should. Unless I just cannot break. She's got her first passive, so we've got the extra attack up. However, if I did my second skill, we get the crit down, and I actually don't hate that. Okay, we can remove crit up, we can't remove crit damage, and we can remove attack buff. So let's see. That means I need to do a quick attack. So I could do like 40, 60, 80. Do I think that will break? I'm gonna say yes. I mean, she's a 5-star, right? 5 stars, even at 90, have really good stats. As long as one thing crits, I think we're okay. There we go. Okay, just get 2 crits. Get 3 crits! Don't even need the extra attack. Boy, she does not have the survivability for this. Did I bring Atlas? Because she wants default. Damn it. Mistakes have been made. There's no reason. There's literally no reason for Atlas here. It doesn't do a damn thing for her. Woo, this is bad. Okay. I want the heal boost for the heal, but actually I really would have liked that for the heal I just used. Yeah, I can do no quick attack. That's okay. Let's do it next turn. This song is Field Avalon Gate from Mabinogi. Avalon Gate is one word. Under damage, very nice. Okay, if we do a quick attack, that's 6 shields. So I think she has to try, and I emphasis on try, to play like a Reshigal and go fast. There's no way you're stalling it to get the shields gone again. There's no way. She does not have the survivability for that, so she has to try to win with just the 6 shields off. So we want damage here. I need to do a quick attack, and we need to get rid of that crit buff. So we do... This is such a sloppy turn. Big stick. Damn. I really wish we had broken there. And we could, in the right context, you could. I don't know, maybe she has a chance at this. Definitely not with this Mystic Code, but if we get crit, we die. It's a nice feeling. If only this Guts brought us back with 1,001 health, we'd actually have a pretty good shot at this. Don't kill me. I need you to throw. Zenobia, I need you to throw. Oh fuck, she has an attack buff. I could have gotten rid of it. Now she has double attack buff. That's death for us. Yep, okay. Whoops! Hey look, Guts did nothing. Feels good. Her crit down is like 20%, 20 or 30%. Oh wow, no, it's actually 50%. Jesus. That's incredible. I don't think that was a Thronako green moment. Like, obviously I didn't play as optimally as I could, but we were still pretty far away from winning. Let's be honest here. Anybody know what this song is from? Y'all should. It's relevant. Armored Core, no. When in doubt, though. Look at Brunhilde like floating in the air when she doesn't even have her wings. Metroid Prime, no. Nope. Yep, TG got it. See, it's fate related. That's why I said it was relevant. There was some good music in that. I didn't like the OST of the Unlimited Blade Works movie as much as the Dean Stay Night anime. Like, it's not that good of a soundtrack, but it's still good. Okay, 159k. I need to do that quick card. I want to do the heal boost. Can I do Buster, quick, and break? Yeah, I agree with Beastly that her third stage is too busy. I don't mind the concept, but it's a little too over the top for me. Also, I don't like the like colors as much, but I don't. It's okay. Like I don't hate any of her stages, but all right. Let's see. Just get lucky, forehead. Come on, extra attack. We got that bonus extra attack thing. Okay, good. Very good. Alright, she's got it. Yeah, her extra does a crap load. Of course it's subjective, but like, you know, like whose else's opinion am I gonna spew other than mine, right? I see people say that all the time and it makes no sense, right? Wait. Oh god. Oh god. Does anyone know what I did wrong? Because I know what I did wrong. Oh, that sucks. I didn't really have a choice though. I'd have to have done a really bad turn to have prevented this. I want to see if anyone in chat knows what went wrong here. Heal boost. Yep, that's half of the problem. Because I used heal boost, but I used the Arjuna card, which ate it. And that's shit. That is so shit. Oh, god damn it. Alright, let me think. What's the play here? Fuck, dude. I could have done the third skill and then heal boosted again this turn, and then use that on the Mystic Code. Yeah, it probably is worth it to take off the Arjuna command code for maybe Santa Altar or something. Or it's true, you could put the heal boost on a quick card. I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know about that. That's a hard call. All right, hold on. We gotta try to recover as much as we can here. Let me think. So, we want to NP. She does not have an attack buff right now. I think I use the art card. Okay, nope, yep, nope. Beasley's right. Yep, heal boost needs to be on a different card. Okay, so yeah, because I want to do NP quick art. That's what I want to do. Or art quick, either way. So I think I just do that. Actually, I should have done the Buster, then the NP. We would have done a little bit of damage, because we're going gas mode. That is our divinity damage right there. Doesn't surprise me, Arjuna. It's pretty rare for big AAA games to come out without bugs everywhere. Dude, remember Fallout 76? Blowing up GPUs? That sounds pretty terrible. Why don't I have heal boost? Didn't I use the... Oh god, So I was gonna do Art Buster, but I was like, oh no, NP game. Oh god. Oh god. This is not going as I had wished. What do I do? Do I hold it again? I don't think so. I think I have to just heal here. Oh my god. Alright, I have to quick here. Fuck. It's all ruined! So I want to heal boost again, but yeah, okay, Beastly's right. Heal boost on Buster sucks. It doesn't work on mini levels here. So I need to do a quick, and I think I still need a crit. Yeah, I still need to crit. But I have to heal boost somehow. See, if it was on quick, I could do art quick right now. I could not remove her crit buff, but that seems like a bad idea. Oh my god, I can't even start with Buster. Okay, so I have to do... What a dumb combo I'm having to do right now. That is so stupid. I mean, the only time you'll see Brunhilde do quick Buster quick. Outside of like an animation video. What a joke. Okay, now she has attack up. If this had gone better, I could have done a lot more damage by now and have more health. And so I could probably break here. $270 though. That's with all those damage shields. I didn't even need to do Buster Chain there. That was a mistake. I could have gotten a lot of refund. And actually, refund is important because if you're gonna win this, you gotta go fast. So having another NP would be big. So I could have had full health on that turn. I would obviously lose health here, but I think if all the healing stuff had worked out better. Well, we're probably dead here. I don't think she's beating this, even if things go well. We could do better than we're doing. She could probably get one more turn in. Like what we're gonna see here, we could probably go one turn further. But that wouldn't be enough to win, because she has 100k guts and all that. But I could have like 3,000 more health right now. Goodbye, Cruel World. Okay, yeah, she's not beating that. Definitely not, but you could probably get a little bit farther. If you could get an NP off on that health bar, you could be decently impressive. See, I don't really play AAA games because I find them really boring and repetitive and just too easy and bland. I find them so bland. So I miss out on a lot of the buggy experiences. When you play like indie games and stuff like that, there's way less bugs generally. So I don't have to deal with that. It's nice, actually. Like occasionally, you know, there's a AAA game that I'm interested in, but like 2 a year, right? Like they're just, I find most AAA games like a giant snore fest. All right, let me slot my Romulus because I think I have the best one here. Seems that way anyway. Not really a hipster, I just have standards, man. Like I feel like so many AAA games, they're completely devoid of standards and people are just like so used to eating shit that if the shit looks pretty, they're happy. Right? Even if it's like a brain dead game a monkey could play, right? And the story is just, you know, generic garbage, everyone will praise it. Like I remember, I'm sorry, I know I'm gonna make some people mad here because I bet you some people here like this game. But what was it? Bioshock Infinite. I remember everyone acted like that was like the game. It was like, oh, this is art, and like they were just like, it's such schlock. Like what the fuck? Like its story is so fucking generic, right? I don't think that game is like garbage. I don't, but I don't think it is it's not like the best video game ever made or even close. Like look at the story. It's nothing special, right? It's like it's a typical movie story. And I'm sorry, but like the typical Hollywood movies are not the standard for an amazing story experience, right? Its story is not that great. The gameplay is unbelievably rudimentary, like shooter stuff, right? I'd much rather play so many other first-person shooters. And like, sure, I get it, some people like the atmosphere and everything, and that's fine. That's totally fine. The game does have a unique atmosphere and everything, and it's executed pretty well. That's totally fine. But everyone and their mother acted like that was like the godsend video game, that now video games are art. I'm sorry, but it's pretty mundane, and you're looking pretty doesn't suddenly make you like some god tier video game that's like life-changing. This is nonsense. I remember day one when it came out, I'm like, these shooting mechanics are pretty blah, right? Like they're pretty blah, and like I think if you're gonna make a first-person shooter, your shooter mechanics are pretty important. Like I have more fun in fucking Halo, and that's a really old video game. And like who's the dev that made like Limbo and stuff? That's an old like 2D game. Like I think their stories are way more interesting than fucking Bioshock Infinite. Like what was it? They made Monster, right? That game. That's a unique game right there. And that's pretty easy as well, I would say, pretty straightforward. But in terms of story, that was something quite unique. And that's also using the video game format in an interesting way. I think a lot of video games don't even take advantage of their interactive element, which is like the point of a video game. And like I don't even like the older Bioshock games. You know, everyone's like, oh, the Big Daddy boss fights are amazing. They're not. They're not. Like I remember the first time I fought a Big Daddy, and I was like, that was so fucking easy. I'm like, have you all never played a video game before? Like if you're a game journalist, it might be hard, but other than that, pretty easy. I think that happens a lot, where like game journalists for like 5 seconds have to actually try, and they think it's like the hardest game ever, and then it's the Dark Souls of, you know, this and that. Because Dark Souls isn't even that hard. I mean, Dark Souls isn't like a joke. It's not at all, but the thing about Dark Souls is it mostly just doesn't hold your hand, and that's just too much for a lot of people. And if the game doesn't explain everything and make it super easy and just linear, most people just crack. Alright, let's see. Romulus is so bad for this stage that I need to give him the best command codes possible for sure. Dude, I've literally seen people that act like, no, I'm not hating on Dark Souls. I think it's a good game. You know, it has problems, obviously. It was rushed and a lot of technical issues, but it's still a good game, you know, interesting story, you know, and it's a real video game, right? So I appreciate that. But so many people act like it like created difficult video games. And I'm like, Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry, Battletoads, Mario. It's like, there's a lot of video games that are a lot older than Dark Souls that did the difficulty thing. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay, let me think. Let me look at Romulus's kit again real quick, make sure I'm not overlooking something that will be relevant. Don't think I am. I use him a decent amount, so I don't see anything that's gonna matter, or I wouldn't need to use certain command codes. Okay. So we're definitely gonna want the attack removal, and we're definitely gonna want the crit removal. And we might even want the crit damage removal, because it does crit down. A lot of NES games, though, are garbage, because a lot of NES games are just, like, pure trial and error. And like, unfair. Like, they're so unfair. Like, so many NES games are just ludicrously unfair. It's not like, well-designed, it's just, like, horse shit. A lot of old video games are terrible. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of, like, really old video games are awful, and like they're unbelievably unfair and unbelievably simplistic. And the reason they're so hard is because, one, they didn't know what they were doing, and two, because they wanted really high replay value. Now, there are some hard games that actually have held up very well, and are even though they're simplistic, you know, some simplistic things can be very satisfying and fun. So there absolutely are, you know, NES games and other things from that era that are good, but I would say the majority of stuff in that era is terrible. I might just be a grumpy old man, but I think most video games are bad. Overwhelmingly. I think most video games are bad, and they're designed to appeal to morons, and there's normally too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, I think that's such a problem with video games, is there's too many chefs in the kitchen, and so they're trying to do too many things, and they don't have a good focused experience. I think the development cycle is bad, and they're always trying to appeal. I mean, you can see it in interviews, and devs that have quit studios have talked about this. Devs are always trying to, or publishers really, but they're trying to appeal to the widest audience humanly possible, which makes them have to make just dumbass video games that a monkey can play. And then they're not very tailored to a certain experience. They're trying to give you a bunch of experiences, so everybody kind of likes it, but nobody super likes it. And I think that makes terrible video games. And I think old video games are like unfair and bullshit because they're trying to get quarters out of you, right? It's like, I think a lot of video games are bad. I think there are way more awful video games or boring, mundane, average, you know, whatever, than there are like excellent, you know, really engaging, you know, good video games. They're taking advantage of the medium. So many video games like don't even try to take advantage of the fact that video games are interactive, and they're just like hand-holdy, linear roller coaster experience, right? And like that's just so lame to me. All right, I guess the attack removal on Buster, because I feel like that's the card we'll use the easiest. Quick is what we'll use the least. The thing is, a lot of video game people always say that, but like look at Dark Souls, right? For example, right? Dark Souls didn't make the most money ever, but it had some of the best profit margins ever, because most publishers are idiots. This is like a known fact. I mean, so many developers will tell you this, that publishers, even though they want to make money, because they're suits that don't know anything about video games or players, they do these arbitrary decisions because, well, this other game is popular, and so they try to force in like mechanics from like battle royales where they don't fit, or whatever, or they like want surface level similarities. Like when Call of Duty was big, everyone wanted to be like Call of Duty on a surface level, but no one cared about that because they already could just play Call of Duty, right? Publishers are morons that know nothing about video games, and they demand developers do like all of this just arbitrary nonsense to meet checkboxes that does not make them money. They think it makes them money, and they're trying to like copy what's popular, but it normally results in just dog shit. Like, publishers suck. I mean, there's exceptions. There are a few publishers out there that know what they're doing. And also sometimes you have developers that are so successful that they have enough leeway in like their contracts and stuff that the publishers are hands off. And like, I'll give it to most of the publishers that work with FromSoft. They're aware that FromSoft is very outside the box, but also very successful, and that they literally don't know what they're talking about, and they should not. Most publishers that work with FromSoft they don't have almost any input on the development process, and they don't even want to, because they know they'll fuck it up. And that happens every once in a while, that you'll have a developer that's so successful that the publishers know to be hands off and to shut the fuck up. But that does not happen very often, and it's only generally with developers that are very successful and have proven that they know what they're doing, that publishers will back off. If you're not like that, publishers are normally breathing down your neck and forcing you to do a bunch of like checkbox bullshit, and it just results in dog trash. And I think that's why most AAA games suck. I mean, I really stand by that. I think most AAA games are shit. I think they're like polished turds. And then people like Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk is just such a bad video game. Now that's pretty easy. I don't think that one's as controversial. I think most people see that now. But look at like why it was popular. The only reason it was popular is because everyone was saying it was going to be amazing. That's it. Like, that's how stupid gamers are. Is like, you literally just make a bunch of ads for something and say it's going to be amazing. Everyone gets super hyped for it, and then it comes out and it's rushed shit, right? And it's like, how is anyone surprised by this? And I guess some of it is because I'm old and I've seen this happen a million times. Like, most of my people in my chat are not going to even know the video game I'm about to bring up. But some people probably do, like Lost probably does. Anyone know the game Warhammer Age of Reckoning? Anyone remember that game? Really old video game, right? And it was one of these games that they just hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped, and there was literally no evidence for it to be an actually good video game. And when it came out, it was super rushed, unpolished, buggy, unflushed out game systems. Game tanked horribly after like the first week, and it just died, right? And I have seen that happen in the game industry just over and over and over and over and over. And what's so weird is every time it happens, I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, this happens all the time. It's something new, and that's why I don't, buy into hype trains. But then everyone does. There's always this massive audience that buys into it, and that's why publishers get away with being morons that don't know what they're doing. Because if you just market a game well, you will make a lot of money. That's the fact of it. And Paz, thank you for the 4 months, dude. But if you market your game well, like Fallout 76 was profitable. Like, what else do you need to say? Sonic Force was a profitable game, right? So it's like, you don't have to make a good video game to be successful. Now that being said, though, publishers, do fuck it up all the time. There are so many video games that like tank and kill the developer, right? Like that happens a lot, where publishers make really, really, really bad decisions. But sometimes video games literally are successful through PR before the game is released, and that's it. That's all they have to do. Okay, let me focus for a second here. So I do think I want the crit damage. So I want the bird. And then we want the hat, I think. Let's see. That's probably enough. Where the hell is the bird? It's the familiar one. I know I have it because this is my main account. I've never missed a command code on my main account. I don't actually know if Sonic 06 was a success or not financially. I'm not sure. I've never looked into that. It was probably like lukewarm. That would be my guess. I doubt it like busted the bank, but it probably didn't, ruin them. But I know there's been several Sonic games that actually have done pretty poorly. Pre-orders are so dumb, especially now that everything's digital. It's literally a way for companies to get paid without actually doing anything. It's like you can put out such a bad video game and then you still make money off of it. It's just become so normalized. Like when I was young, I remember pre-orders were not normalized. They used to be pretty rare. Only like big games would do them, and they were really controversial. I remember back in the day, pre-orders were super controversial, and I remember people always saying way back then, to not pre-order because it'll make it an industry standard, and it'd be really bad for the industry if it became standard. But of course, nobody listened to that, and everyone pre-orders all the time. And now it's industry standard, and you know, now we have all these, you know, games coming out in like terrible states. Yeah, some people still buy games physically, but here's the thing: even if you buy your games physically, you can see what I'm saying, because of digital, the load is so much lighter, right? They're not gonna run out of physical copies generally, right? Unless they're like Nintendo and they're like trying to not have enough supply. But rarely are you going to have actual supply issues when it comes to new video games, and most of your sales are going to be digital these days. So there's literally no practical reason to have a pre-order, and the even games that come out digitally only have pre-orders, right? Which that just makes no sense, right? It's a rip-off, and I think everyone knows it's a rip-off, but they just buy into it anyway. I'm really not sure what command codes to go with other than this. I'd like heal boost and heal, but I don't see how I'm going to work that in. I might just slap heal and then not do heal boost. I have to do quick sum to remove shields, so when I do it, maybe that's when I want the heal actually. Because I'm only going to do it a few times throughout the fight. The quick card, and I'm only going to need the heal a few times throughout the fight. Okay, that's alright. Pre-orders aren't really marketing. Pre-orders are what they benefit from marketing. Like there's no marketing behind a pre-order. It's more like you market to get people to pre-order. And you want them to pre-order so you get paid without having to actually show off the game yet. Like, no company is gonna like show nothing of their video game and just say, oh yeah, but you can pre-order it and expect that to like make marketing, right? It won't. Now you might get some people to pre-order it anyway, especially if you're a developer that has like a reputation, but that doesn't get the media talking, right? Yeah, that doesn't get you YouTube views. It doesn't, you know, there's no like there's no word of mouth behind that. It's just a business move. It's not part of like increasing your hype. What for this card? I guess this is okay. This is okay. I could do heal boost. The song is so good, by the way. I don't know about this heal boost, but survivability is important. There are so many business practices now that I remember used to not be standard that are standard now, that are they're just so on it. Like day one DLC, you know, it's really standard now. That's when you buy a game, you're buying the development process of that game, and so like it's ridiculous, right? It's totally ridiculous. What does he want? Probably this for the stars, actually. Default or Atlas? I think it has to be Atlas, because it's the only way we'll potentially have enough survivability. I remember day one DLC used to be super rare, but now it's crazy common. This song is like Battle Theme 2 from Arc Knights. It has another name though, it's like In Dust or something. Yeah, In Dust, yeah, that's what Kyra said. I knew, there's like two battle themes I always get confused. I know one of them is named In Dust. Yeah, I don't think it actually, I think the reason it's called that is what Kyra was saying. It's its file name. I don't think they ever put it out and gave it like an official name, but I think it's referred to as In Dust in like the file name. I think it's because of industry, probably, but I don't know, who fucking knows some of these things. All right, his second skill lasts 3 turns, so I think I use it now, even though I'm gonna whiff. Using it next turn, though, is a better time to make stars. But no, sooner I use it, sooner it comes back. Everybody laughing in their command cards there. Something I really don't like about modern video games is just how derivative they are. And it's fine for some games to be derivative, and that's good, you know, genres. People like first-person shooters, so making more first-person shooters is fine. But like when you just play like some older video games, like even in like the GameCube era or something, there's derivative stuff, but there's a lot of like whole creative stuff that literally doesn't get made anymore, right? Like at all. Like they're not even being derivative of those games. There's all kinds of like styles of video games and just unique concepts that used to get made that they don't touch anymore. And especially with AAAs, I think AAAs stick to, you know, very safe gameplay styles, and it kind of sucks. I feel like a lot of like creativity and like exploration and stuff like that in terms of game design, no one wants to take the risk anymore because, you know, you don't want to fail, and fair enough, but because of that, things get very samey and I don't know, boring. I kind of want to do a quick chain here so I can crit next turn. This is bad though. We got so few cards on these 2 turns. It's saturated. It's kind of like, this is why I don't like AAA games very much, is whenever a AAA game comes out, I'm like, I've seen 50 games exactly like this game, and I just don't care about it. RTS is dead. They killed that genre. Now, if I use my attack up, we could probably break right now. But it's not a good time for my attack up. I think I kind of have to. This is a terrible time to do the Roman trade. I might even need to do my 3rd skill. I need to crit at least once for sure. We got the double crit damage up, and no crits. Well, we lose. That sucks. So that's what happens when you don't crit and you don't get any cards. So there's a lot of issues, I think, why RTS died. So one, in terms of competitive gaming, there's just other games that have been made in other genres that are more visually engaging for the audience to watch, like the pros play and stuff. So that's a big part of it. And RTS is just, it's really hard to get new players into it, right? It's one of the most intimidating barriers to entry, I think, in any game ever. And then if you dumb it down, then what makes the games good isn't there anymore, right? It's very hard. And see, here's an example: fighting games. I think there's a real, they're very similar, but there's a reason fighting games have survived and RTS hasn't, because they're so similar. They're both, you know, very competitive. They have a very high skill ceiling, and they were both very intimidating to get into. But there's a few things in fighting games' favor. So one, fighting games are way more visually engaging, even if you're not a pro at the game, right? You can watch, you know, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, even Smash Brothers, and maybe you've played the game very casually, or not at all. Maybe you played other fighting games, but you haven't played that fighting game, and you can still watch it and follow it to an extent and enjoy it. So it pleases the crowd so much easier than an RTS does. And then also, I think it's a lot more possible for a fighting game to lower the barrier of entry and still maintain a level of depth, right? So the game is not bad, right? So they can make it easier to get into, easier to understand, but still have, you know, a high skill ceiling. It's hard for RTS to do that. And then also, I think it's so hard for RTS to be visually fun to watch. So those two things combined, I think, have really wrecked RTS, at least in the mainstream. Where like fighting games have really found their like their niche, I guess, in the market, and they've kind of understood what they need to do. And like Guilty Gear is a good example of this, of them finding how to try to keep as high of a skill ceiling as possible, but have a low enough skill floor that people can get into the game, right? Like, and it's been interesting watching fighting games over the years try to find that balance. And I think they're definitely getting it now. Okay, our NP gain is terrible right now, but we got cards, so it'll be fine. I only played RTS a bit when I was really young, like I played Warcraft 3 and stuff. But I never was really that into it. I remember when StarCraft 2 was big, like really big, I did watch a lot of the tournaments, and even though I never played it, I knew it very well. Like I knew what units beat what, and like what, you know, why people would build what they did and stuff like that. Like I could follow it. But yeah, I've never been that big in RTS. So then after that, you know, over time the genre has died. You know, it is a bit of a niche, right? With like Age of Empires or whatever. There's still a little bit, but overall, it's a pretty dead genre. Okay, we want to get rid of that crit buff. We need to break. I can save my first kill this time. Not... I could heal boost, because there's a chance I'll take some damage here. Okay, I'll do that. That's what's going to get Romulus here, is his invulnerability is only 2 hits. Not ideal. Fighting game communities are... There's a lot of good and bad. There's a lot of good because there really is a lot of people... I mean, truly, there are a lot of people in the fighting game community that are happy to be helpful and to help people get in on a ground level. Like, people have no idea what they're doing, don't know any of the terminology. There's a lot of people that really are happy to help and, you know, point people in the right direction for learning the basics and the lingo and all that stuff. And like if you jump on Discords for pretty much any fighting game and you're like, yo, I'm not very good at this game, but I want to like grind out some matches and get better, you will find people that are willing to help you. Like, you absolutely will. But you're also going to find a lot of toxic people that are out there to showboat and make fun of people and just be jackasses, and you know, that's, you know, welcome to humanity. But it's actually, I'd say the fighting game community, although there's a lot of assholes, it is so easy to find people that aren't. I think it's incredibly easy to find people in the fighting game community that are willing to help you out and just, you know, do matches against you and let you, you know, grind it out and figure things out and you know, point you in the right direction for guides or, you know, just teaching you the lingo and stuff. So a lot of positives there, really. Okay, so damage does not matter here on this turn, so there's no reason to do my first kill, which is making me question if I should do Atlas. I want to heal, so I should... I think I NP Art quick. And then I hope that I crit, because then I'll actually get rid of every shield in one turn. Some people actually like playing fighting games on keyboard. It's very doable. Depends on the fighting game, but if you get good at it, it's actually generally not that big of a problem. Crit, 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 damn it. If that hit crit, I would have gotten rid of 6 shields right there. Wow, we got so shredded right there. Yeah, I'm not sure Atlas is right. So I think we need to go quick. Like, there's no stalling this out. I want to do this art card because I'll get rid of the crit damage buff and give her a crit down, but I don't think I can. I think I need to do this. If I get lucky, I could actually break her health bar next turn, I think. Damn it. Wow. I should have done that crit thing because she just crit us and she had double crit damage up, so it just did insane. If she crits you, the damage is just crazy unless you remove that buff. Yeah, I should have done it. I should have done it. That probably would have saved me there. Oh, I missed a sub, excuse me. Oh, Carps! How did I miss that? What the hell? Hold on, let me find it. How long ago was this sub? God damn. Quite a while ago. 9 months goes by pretty fast. Boy, I relate to that. This year has been blazing for me. Some years go pretty slow for me, but man, this year has been crazy fast. Alright, let's try Romulus a little bit more. I don't know why today I'm only trying units that I don't think can solo it, but for some reason that's what we're doing. Like Enkidu could probably do it. Although actually Deermilde I think can do it. even though we don't have the command codes for it, but I think he can do it. And Reshigal was another one that I didn't think could do it that did. Like, I'm still surprised at that. Because not only does she do it, but she does it pretty convincingly. Especially once you optimize it a bit. But Reshigal's always been one of the best AoE Lancers in my opinion, and then they buffed her, so she's kind of nonsense. And like, Percival might be AoE as well, but his toolkit is so much more aimed at soloing. So it's, even though he's lower rarity than she is, and they're both AoE Lancers, I'm actually less impressed by Percival just because it's not that shocking that he can do it with the amount of healing he has. You didn't see my sub? Wait, did you actually resub yesterday, IC? Did I really miss this? I'm scrolling down through the notification. Oh, wow, you did. Whoops. I haven't been IC23 for 190 days. Feels bad, man. Are you still checking? I forgot. Okay, I give up. I forgot to cast his second skill. He's not gonna do it anyway. I think he could break the first 2 health bars, but there's just no way he's getting through that last one. If he was upgraded more though, he might be able to do it. Old age. Don't you all start? Alright, anyone else chat? Okay, hold on. I'll give him one more go, because I never really gave him a proper run. And, we had people asking for it, so I'll try to get one good run in here. Thoughts to the update of the follow system? I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's like, it's not hard to add people that are OP. Join any Discord and it's easy to find someone that's OP that will carry you. So you don't need to follow somebody to get good servants on your support list, even if you suck. Bascolor, thank you for the 1 year on the dot. Thank you, man. That is a long time. That's a lot of support. Imagine throwing that much money at some guy ranting about video games and playing Fate, right? Like, imagine that. Like, imagine subscribing to somebody that questions your judgment, because that's what I'm doing right now. And then I subscribe to Cairo, so, I mean, what am I doing? Do I quick chain? Cairo, I'm legally blind in AI. I have 2 of them, you see. What's funny though, my quote-unquote good eye really is a catastrophe though. My good eye has a stigma, so it doesn't see so good. It's farsighted, so when things are close to it, I can't really see. And my eyes are both the wrong shape, so that also makes them not so hot. So yeah, my quote-unquote good eye is still not particularly amazing. Okay, so I might do the quick attack. No, we got an 80% chance to crit now. Just take it. It's so bad he can't see. They're both blind. Oh damn, he almost broke right there. That'd have been something. That actually would have been helpful for him. For some units, that's not particularly a good thing, but that would have been good for him. Okay, she has crit damage, so I want to, or crit chance. Let me get rid of that. This fight has finally gotten me though to memorize which one's crit damage and which one's crit chance. I'll probably forget though. Do I want the heal boost? I guess so. I want stars. Alright, we'll do that. Yeah, so my mother has a eye stigma that's fairly bad, and I inherited it, so that was great. And then I was born prematurely, so my eyes are the wrong shape. And then I've got like a lazy eye, and then I'm nearsighted and farsighted. It's a whole kettle of fish there. Dude, I remember this was actually kind of recent. I went to get I was getting like an updated glasses, right? I was getting new glasses. And whenever I have to have glasses made, because my subscription is really complicated because of all these different issues with my eyes, it takes them like a really long time to make them. Like, it normally takes them like a week or some shit. Because they have to use like this like special type of glass and some nonsense. But anyway, when I went to the place and was like giving them the the instructions of what to be made and everything, the lady that looked at it, she just like she looked at the prescription and immediately was like, "Wow, you have like everything." I was like, "Yeah, thanks." Because yeah, nearsighted, farsighted, stigma and all that. You pretty much have to correct for everything, right? There's some degree of correction for any problem you can pretty much have. So. Okay, let me think. I need an NP. I have to evade here. Okay, that means I heal boost the normal heal. I may have actually overhealed a bit there. So NP heal boost needs to happen. I guess art. Yeah, NP art. Please crit. Eye disease, Exodia. You know what I'm really frustrated by? Some of my eye stuff would still exist, but so now, like nowadays, when kids are born, because like technology has advanced so much, apparently there's like things doctors can do if you're born really early to like offset some of the problems, so you won't grow up to have as many like issues. So kids that are like born like I was now can grow up to be a lot healthier than I am. But you can't do it retroactively because it's basically like drugs or something that like makes your body keep developing like it's supposed to, or some not. I'm not a scientist, so I don't get it. But yeah, I've been told by my eye doctor a lot of the issues I have can actually be fixed now when you're born. Like it has to be when you're born. You can't do it now. But oh yeah, that would have been nice. We almost looped. Damn. So we need to go fast. He got 5 shields off. We need to quick. We need a quick. Do I attack up? Maybe I wait 1 turn to attack up. Am I gonna live 3 turns? I mean, I would hope so. We're kind of screwed if we don't. So I need a heal boost. Oh fuck, I have to not quick. I need to not quick. I need a heal boost and quick next turn. But that means I can't get the shield off yet. Oh, this is gonna be sloppy. Does she have an attack buff? She has both crit buffs. No attack buff. Okay, so we do both art cards. That really sucks. I'd love to do that quick card because I need to get rid of the shield, and I want to do maximum damage next turn, and then I want to get the crit because it had a 70% crit. Okay, do I do the... God, I think I do Art Quick NP because it lets me get the heal boost and then the shield off. That's so lame, but I think I have to do it that way. Okay, at least she's like very Roman. See, what I need to be able to do is NP there, because it's possible. I could have all 6 shields off, and I could NP there, and then do quick art. And so I'd be in the exact same boat, I'd get the same healing, but I'd get more refund towards my next NP, and that's pretty important. So this could be better, but it's just because we couldn't do the quick attack. Maybe the heal should be on an art card then, I don't know. I could have broken there, dude. I absolutely could have broken there, and I probably needed to. I thought I could without doing like Buster stuff, but... So... We can't win. There's like no way. I mean, that's true anyway, but like we're gonna die to the NP next turn. Because if I don't invulnerability, we're dead. But if I invulnerability here, I can't stop the NP. So we're kind of just screwed. Well, we want the best turn as possible next, so we'll try to get like a Buster NP turn. She's gonna be very Roman. I wish that other Buster card had crit. We'd got another Roman stack on her if it had. Eyes on the inside? Yeah, Bloodborne, let's go. Do you think he could do it at NP5 level 100? What? Fuck you, game. I was all, dude. Really? I was all buffed up, and she was crazy Roman, and I was gonna do an NP Buster turn. Are you kidding me with that? How the that's so bullshit. Oh my god, that's so lame. That's so lame. By the way, the answer is no. I don't think he could do it at NP5 level 100 unless maybe he got miracle RNG, right? Like absolute miracle RNG. He could probably do it at 120 though, just because you could phase tank so much at 120. Like it's 30 levels worth of health at that point. Also, you could be 2k foe. So there is a world where Romulus solos this, but you'd have to be very upgraded. Because honestly, if we had not died there, we would have fucked up that last health bar. I mean, we really would have fucked up that last health bar. And if we were higher level, I could have saved that invulnerability and then done it when she did the NP. So she can do it, but I don't think a typical, even beefy Romulus could do it. Because a typical beefy Romulus is going to be like NP 2 or 3, level 100, maybe 2k foe, right? But I'm not sure that would be enough. Right now, maybe, because that's a lot stronger than mine. Let's see, because if he's because mine's not 2k foed and he's not level 100, so there's a lot of at level 100 2k foe. That's 2,000-ish more health. Let me see, where's my Romulus? That would put him at almost 17,000. Maybe. I mean, yeah, actually, probably 100 at 2k foe. If you got lucky, you might. Yeah, he probably could. I wish I could have seen that turn. Because if that turn we did like well over half her health, and I'm like well over half her health, and like I could like kill her next turn, like pop guts, then he could probably do it. So there's probably someone out there that's done it, right? Because someone probably has like a level 110 Romulus right now or whatever. Because fuck, I don't even have his passives actually. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, he can do it, I bet. Because you could get the passive that it does more damage to with his extra attack. What is his third? I don't even know, because I guess there's a chance it could, well, it's not gonna be Archer because he's Lancer. But I wonder if he got a good one, let me check. Probably one's Berserker, I would think. He got Ruler. Oh, it's because of Zeus. That's why. That's not particularly good. It'd be good in some AoE situations, I guess. AoE servants are more okay with having a random thing like that because they might have a challenge quest where they're hitting like if it's Romulus, you might be hitting an Archer, a Berserker, and then a Ruler, right? So if you have his third skill, it's actually pretty good there. But for that stage, yeah, honestly, if you had his extra attack up here and he was level 100 and 2k foe, I actually think he could do it. Because if he was just that one turn where we almost broke but didn't, we would have broke. So we would have been a turn ahead anyway. And that one turn we had all lined up, we could have really fucked up the boss. And we're probably going to get another turn or two with the extra stats from the health. So yeah, no, he could probably do it. You have to get lucky, but if he's crazy upgraded, I think he could do it. But that's clearly behind, though, Ereshkigal. What was Ereshkigal? What level was she? Wasn't she just 100? Well, actually, no, she's probably about as upgraded as what we're talking about for Romulus. Let me see. Hey, Beastly, you're still here? Because I don't remember how upgraded your Ereshkigal was. There she is. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. She is level 100, 2k foe, and she has her passives, and I think she even had faux pause there. And NP5. Okay, I think if Romulus, yeah, because Romulus is really happy to have faux pause. If Romulus was this upgraded, he could probably do it too. I really do think so. However, I think, didn't she have wiggle room? That's the thing. He'd be pushing it. He'd be like winning, like, you know, on the last turn and that kind of thing, right? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Ereshkigal, when played properly, has excess value. She had 2 turns of wiggle room. Yeah, so she still beats it better than he does, I would think. But if he was, yeah, Jesus, she's got all 3 of her passives. He could do it in this context. Absolutely. Like, abso-fucking-lutely. But I do think she's better. Like, I do think she's better. We could try Raiko, but that's just bullying. You know what? Beastly, can we get command codes on Melt? Because she is a like to Percival. Now, clearly Percival's better for this kind of thing, but she's an AoE 4-star art Lancer, so you know, fair, and at least she has in her favor Percival was NP3. She's NP5. So on paper, she's actually stronger than him, but his toolkit is clearly better for this fight. We're definitely gonna want, you know, crit removal, probably crit damage removal as well, like the bird, and then probably attack removal. Those are the threes we have to have. Hey, Marcellus, thank you for the bits. And hey, Poi Poi for the nickel. It's where I block those out sometimes. We should probably use a different unit while we wait. I could get on my Herc account and we could set up on my Super Lancer Artoria, but she'll probably die horribly. We could use something just for shits and giggles that she could probably do it. NP5, damn. Could do something at neutral. That's always a rough time. These command codes don't make sense here, but look, she's not even using an event CE. So we're at class neutral, and we're not using an event CE. So she's definitely not gonna win, but we'll see how far she can get. And Reshigal has more survival. She just has, because her invulnerability is unlimited hits, which kind of matters here because Zenobia attacks 3 times a lot. She's got the defense up. She's got the health boost, which is essentially a heal, right? Like, there's a Reshigal is just disgusting. What you gotta do to get a NP5 of a limited servant is you gotta save, and then you just don't like what I did on my ult account is I literally did not roll on anything but Achilles for just ages. I didn't get it in one go, right? I just kept saving up, and every time Achilles was rated up, I'd roll on, and same for Gilgamesh. Although Gilgamesh actually is different, because if I remember correctly, I think that account I had saved up to like 1,000 SQ. Gilgamesh got rated up, and I think I got him in NP3, and then I got him NP4 later, and then I still haven't gotten NP5. But I think I might have gotten Gilgamesh NP4 with that initial 1,000 SQ, and then every time I've rolled on him since, I don't think I've ever gotten a copy of him. I think that's actually how it's gone down. Which is not great. But yeah, if you're, especially if you're free to play and you want an NP5 unlimited, you have to like only roll once a year. You have to have, I am an idiot and I just double taunted because I'm not paying attention. Yeah, you have to have like super iron will and just be like, that's the one I'm focusing on, and I'm just saving and saving and saving. Like for example, if you played in A and you knew about Jolter, you know, day one, you don't use a single SQ until Jolter's rated up. And then if you don't get her MP5 there, you don't use a single SQ until she's rated up again, right? Like that's the world you have to live in. And if you get lucky, you can accomplish it in a reasonable amount of SQ. And basically, you've got to be able to enjoy the 1 to 3 stars, right? Because while you're saving up for the thing that you want to get NP5, you've got to be enjoying the 1 to 3 star experience, right? That's what you got to do. The other thing that can really help, though, now you said limited, but if you do want an NP5 and unlimited, it's actually not so bad because they'll have more opportunities to get them, and then you can pick them as your free 5-star, right? And that's what I did for Mordred. I didn't actually get NP5 Mordred. I got to NP4, and then I just picked her for my free 5-star and got NP5, right? And then you might get spooked by them maybe once if you're lucky, so then you only need to get like NP3 when they're rated up, and that's not too hard to accomplish with free SQ. I got NP5 Lancer Artoria, who's story locked, so it's kind of like a limited, not quite, but it's similar. And I got it completely free to play and without saving up, right? Imagine, you know, generally on my accounts I'll like save up like the whole year for something, right? I didn't save up like at all. I just had like the random SQ that the Herc account got from like playing through the story. and I just rolled and I just randomly got her, you know, 5 times, and like, no, I'm so glad I streamed that. Cause everyone saw me get the SQ, you know, through playing through the game, just the natural stuff, and then everybody saw me rolling. So there was no, why? She's not Canis. What am I doing? God damn it, dude. This is why, dude, when you're soloing and you have to like actually play good, it's so much harder when you're streaming, because if you're talking, you're not, you know, focusing. When I'm off stream, you know, you're just sitting there focusing on the unit, and you think about, okay, what does this unit need to do? Yeah, I did that because I'm so used to Canis, where when I'm autopiloting, I don't click her thing a turn in advance, and that screws me. And because I was thinking damage cut, I was just thinking Canis. I should work on Canis here, though, because I do think Canis can beat this. I think she'll have to do it in an unorthodox way, though. I think it's going to require some trial and error and like messing around with different mystic codes and stuff. But I think she can do it. I do think she has the right kind of, because she got really close when I didn't min-max it, so. I don't even know if I bought in my Canis's passive skills. I have no idea. I should if I haven't. But with Percival doing it, I'm pretty confident that Canis can pull it off. But I do think it'll be close. Like it'll be a bit of a nail biter. You'll have to play it properly, not make any mistakes. Probably get a little bit of luck, but probably not too much. I think most of it's going to come down to figuring out what the right setup is, and then not doing anything wrong. All right, let me look at Melt's kit again. I haven't used her in a little bit. Right, so her art up lasts forever, so if I have an art card here, we should use it, which we do. Her invulnerability is 1 turn. Okay, might use my drain next turn. Although her attack up is only 1 turn, so probably not. Imagine draining your teammates, by the way. I gotta say, I'm not really that interested in Darkest Dungeon 2, and I hate saying that because you know, I love the aesthetic and everything, but I've read like interviews with the developer. Like I haven't watched any footage of it, but like over the years, you know, I know they've been working on it for a while. Almost everything they've said about it, where they're changing it from the first game, I don't like. Like almost everything they have said that's different in the second game compared to the first game, I don't like. And I already have issues with the first game. You know, there's things I like about it. It has, dude, I am so mixed on Darkest Dungeon. So the aesthetic is amazing. You know, the narrator's amazing. You know, all that's good. And then the character toolkits are very well designed and very fun to use. And like the different synergies between the different characters, very fun. Like, I mean, very fun. But there's just too much arbitrary bullshit in that game. And I feel, and I've talked to my friend Tusk, who's played that game a lot, like a lot. And not only, so it's not just my experience, it's his experience too. Now he likes the game more than I do, but he agrees with me that what I'm about to say is accurate. You know, there's, especially if you're not using a guide or the wiki, there is just a massive amount of trial and error where it's like, there's no way you could have possibly known that. And so then your unit dies and then they're perma-dead and you're screwed, right? And that, I don't find that fun. I don't find that fun at all. Like I don't find like just straight trial and error. Like, oh lol, you had no way of knowing that, so you just got bodied. But you have to just come back and do it again. And now that you know it, then you set up and prepare for it instead. I don't care about that. So like, permadeath can be fun for some games. I don't think it works for that game. I really don't. I think it takes away from it, and it makes you have to waste a lot of time, like a lot of time, and it gets really repetitive if anytime you're at something hard, you have to trial and error it and then go back and, you know, kind of get re-prepared for it. That's just a waste. That's just a waste of my time. And I don't like saying that about the game, but it's just true. Like I really don't. I think the trial and error of it is, a lot of it's unnecessary and is frustrating, and I don't think the permadeath mechanic actually synergizes with how the game is actually designed. Like I don't think it does at all, and it just wastes your time. And it makes you just not want to bother, right? But it sucks because it really does have some interesting mechanics on their bosses, and it has interesting toolkits, right? Where it's like, you know, this counters that, and these two units can work together, but it can also work in this way instead of that way, and that's all great, right? There's plenty of positive things about the game, and the art style really is amazing, right? The art style is incredible. But yeah, honestly, I think the permadeath system just doesn't work for the game at all. It's like it's fundamentally, if you're gonna make a game that trial and error, I think permadeath, it literally just wastes the player's time, right? Because you can always recoup from it, but it takes a while, and it's like, that's boring. And then the new one is like really different. The new game is like more like a roguelike and stuff. Like, I'm sure there's some balance changes and stuff that they've made in the second game that are good, and that's fine. But like the whole like concept of the game is quite different in the second one. And I don't think the bounty hunter's even in it, and that was my favorite character. So that alone is a pretty big hit to me. Okay, well, I'm pretty much gotta NP. Do I evade and try to get ahead of the curve, or do I wait a turn to... yeah, I think I wait a turn and just hope I don't get shredded here. Let me think. We need to get rid of that crit buff. I can just art. We have no heal boost, but that's okay. Let's do this. But yeah, Darkest Dungeon, overall, I'm glad I played it. I don't regret playing it, and it's, I do enjoy the game. But some of its flaws are just flaws that I really don't like in a video game. But I would never say like Darkest Dungeon is trash, right? It's a good game, absolutely, but it's definitely flawed, and it definitely has a degree of like time wasting that I'm not a fan of. Oh yeah, we'll do an account review after this. I completely forgot about that. I like how I immediately get crit. What? My god, she doesn't even have her crit chance buff, and we got double crit. That's where I wish she'd done the crit damage buff, because then I could have done... okay, we're fucked. We are so fucked. I think she'll do so bad here, though. I don't think she has the right kind of full kit for it. You need to either just be able to go so fast, or you need to have a lot of survivability. Because if you look at all the units that have soloed this, they all have a lot of survivability. So they can get set up to, like, you know, use their command codes. And because if that was Percival, he could get his health back almost to full right there with heal boost and then NP. And that gives you time for the boss to do the crit damage, so then you do the crit down, right? But like a unit like Melt can't really live long enough to get that even going. Because let's see, Ku can solo it and really smoothly, but he has like massive survivability. And he has loads, because of PFA, he has loads of time to use command codes to get rid of the crit buffs and stuff, so he's fine. Ereshkigal, people don't think she does, but she does have loads of survivability because she has invulnerability, and then she has the defense up and the heal. That is a lot of survivability. Percival can do it, and he also has huge survivability. He's got invulnerability and heal. And then Leonidas can do it, but you might not think it, but he obviously has massive survivability because he's got the almost endless defense up. Let's see, who else has done this? Canis can probably do it, and although she doesn't have the most survivability, she's got a lot though. She has damage cut, guts. You don't always get value out of both, but she can generally cast the damage cut twice. And then attack down. And then she also has that really, really high stuff. Dearman hasn't soloed it yet, but he probably can, although he's cutting it very close. But even he has like more survivability than Melt does, and a lot of other things, because he's got the evade, and it's a low enough cooldown that he can use it twice. And then he's got a very large attack down that he can also probably use twice. So although not as much survivability as some of the other stuff, that's still a lot. I don't think we've seen anyone solo this actually that doesn't have good survivability. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The closest is probably the Lolly Dragon, because although she does have survivability, she probably has the least out of the lot. And Scath has a lot of survivability. Now, she's uniquely kind of fucked here, but her stun is... This is why Scath can still do it, and I said I thought she could. Because I used mine, which is level 90. No 2k foe, mine was so not fancy, right? And mine got really close to doing it. And even though the stun gives the boss evade, the thing is, the boss is still stunned, right? So the boss still doesn't do anything. So even though you're not NPing, technically, like you're not getting NP damage, you're getting a free turn, right? And that buys, so the boss doesn't hit you, it buys you a turn to get your evade back, which means you live even longer, which means you stun again. So I'm not surprised Scath can, because I even said I used Scath here like once or twice. And how upgraded was she though? Because I bet you she was really upgraded. I bet you she can do it though at like level 100. I doubt she even needs to be... Actually, she might be able to do it at 90. She might be able to do it at 90 because mine was pretty damn close, and we didn't even optimize it. So she might be able to do it at 90. You can do it brainlessly though at like 110 or something. Well, let's see, but Scav definitely has high survivability because low cooldown evade, and stun. That definitely counts as really high survivability. Actually, her doing it without the damage CE I don't think is particularly impressive because it's probably easier for her without the damage CE. Just because her NP doesn't do anything, and then your CE then will give you more survivability or more loopability and things like that. So that she's just one of those kits where it doesn't really. It's like Leonidas. If Leonidas does it without the event CE, it doesn't. Like if any, it's easier if anything without it. Now, some boss fights, that's not the case, and some units, that's not the case, but with how this fight is, that's so not the case. I think a lot of units can potentially do this without the event CE, just because her hit count is so busted. Also because you don't need to do damage in the second health bar very much. Like, actually, damage can be bad. So, as long as you have a way to live, and you can just stall up the second health bar. Yeah, I'll have to see what Leonidas did here. I said, though, I thought he could do it. But, I bet you Leonidas doesn't use the damage CE. He might be able to do it either way, though. He might be able to do it either way. But I actually think Leonidas is definitely a unit that does better without it. I think Scath is, too. Who else? Is there anyone else I can think of? Actually, it'd be boring as fuck, but maybe Percival. Because Percival with a defense up or a heal boost CE can just live forever here. Who else? Maybe Ku, actually, because Ku... Ku's weird because the way his survivability is, it's hard for him to get like value out of another CE. Or some other units can, and he doesn't really need like some of the more unique damage you can get from other CEs and stuff. So Ku, I don't know if he could do it without the damage CE. Maybe. I had to think about it. I'm not even sure what you would use. Let me think. A Reshigal. Yeah, a Reshigal could probably do it without it because if you use a good CE on her, because none of the event CEs are good. That's the thing. None of the event CEs are good. They're all bad. The only one that's good is the Guts one, but it's bad for this fight because of the health drain. So, like, a lot of units really are better off without the event CE, because then they get an effect that's actually useful. A Reshigal might be able to NP every turn with an NP gain CE. Yeah, I could definitely see a Reshigal doing it without an event CE. Maybe Ku, but Ku just doesn't have a lot of CEs that synergize with his kit very well. So, I don't know. Maybe. Alright, I have to NP here, and because we got like no cards ever, we might still not break. I gotta do the attack up. That's... well, I would need the attack up later. Don't crit me, you bitch! Obviously Golden Sumo, but the thing is, what's good about Golden Sumo is not any better than a damage CE. Because that's the thing, if you use like NP gain, defense up, damage cut, CEs like that, you're getting a unique benefit that you're not getting out of a damage CE, so they can be better. But all Golden Sumo really does is starting NP and damage, and that's exactly what the event CE does. So there's nothing special there, right? So if you're trading out the event CE, you want to trade it for something that how? What the fuck? That is so dumb. Like, she's got an okay crit chance without the buff, but it's not that good. She's done that twice now, where on the very first turn, even though we remove her crit buff, she double crits us. That's so dumb. There's no way Melt can win that way, because Melt has no fucking survivability. Like, she can't run it back. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously not really a solo, but I mean, a Reshigal can obviously do this. Like, I mean, we've done it on stream, and Beastly's got a video of it. Like, and a Reshigal she's just so good in this fight. But yeah, I remember when we used Scath, I said that she's so much better for this fight than people think because stun is just broken, and the boss has such a high hit count, you get your stun all the time. Give me the Herbertrot one. That one's like, what the fuck was that one? That one's like a health stat. That's part of why it's bad. It's starting NP, I think health stat, and then it's like Buster Up, some like NP damage or something, but it's health stat, so it's, oh yeah, that's what it is. It's NP damage and then debuff immunity, but there's no debuffs here. So who cares? Like the debuff immunity does nothing. 15% NP damage when you're all health stat is so much worse than every other CE ever. Like the only reason that CE is good here is because it's an event CE. But it's not that good. Like it's, I mean, it could be, in some fights it'll be good just because it gives you a debuff immunity, but not here. Like the only reason, let me put it this way. If all the 3 event CEs, if they did not have the event effect, like the event bonus damage, you would not use any of them on any unit ever for this fight. None of them are good in this fight because the guts one brings you back with 1 health, and then the boss just drains you after the guts has gone off, and then the guts literally does nothing. So all that CE does is Buster crit damage, and there's way better CEs for raw damage, so that no way you'd use that one. The debuff immunity one is super pointless because, again, full health stat, and then there's no debuffs of note here. So you're basically just not wearing a craft essence. And then I'll give it, Cleo one I don't think you would use it, but it's a little better because that one has like NP gain, stars per turn, and then split stat or something like that. So that one's kind of okay, but there's still a million other craft essences that are much, much, much better. I almost want to NP right now, even though I don't have any art cards. I don't even see a draw. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, the music's looping. It's probably been doing that for a while. Man, it's a shame that Zenobia, there's the gimmicks in this fight and everything. It's a female boss. Because if you could use the anti-male defense CE, that would be so busted on a lot of units. Because if you're counterclassing, you have that massive defense up, and if you have any kind of survivability of your own, and then you have command codes to get rid of her normal card damage, you're going to be so tanky here. It's kind of lame that there's no equivalent to that CE for female. I mean, I don't think they want to do it though, because then you could just, no matter what you're fighting, you can basically have a 30% defense up. And I think they kind of regret making that CE, because, I mean, dude, there are so many boss fights out there that have been broken because of that CE. It's just too much defense that you have forever. It's 30% forever, right? And then the unit might have some kind of loopability or really high uptime on their own defense up, and you're super tanky for like the entire fight. And that can result in a lot of units being able to like live indefinitely. Like some of the setups that have allowed people to like do challenge quests and have a unit live forever, like no matter how tanky the boss is, the unit can live forever. It's often that it's because of Maiden Halloween or a defense up CE or an NP gain CE, right? That happens all the time. So some of those I think they really regret making because, you know, CEs are buffs that last forever. Right? It's very strong. Yeah, Joan of Arc can get really broken with stuff like that. Because I've seen a lot of male bosses end up being a lot easier because of that CE sometimes. Especially when you have like defensive units that are loopy, like Mothman and stuff like that. Although Mothman a lot of times wants, you know, NP gain or stars instead. But those kinds of units that can go a really long time, when you give them a defense up like that forever, it's just, it's silly. Okay, so we need to do every card type, we need to NP, but it doesn't really matter when we NP. So I think we just, wait a second here. She has no buffs. Other than the art up, but I can't do anything about that. So we need Buster. I want to do that quick crit, but I don't want to waste the heal. So I'll do that and just hope I crit. Imagine if they made a 5-star version of the anti-male defense thing, so it was like 35% defense, or like, it'd just be so easy to get to 100% defense at that point. And look, we got crit again, and we got. That is, dude, this is stupid. I mean, what is Melt's luck stat? What the fuck? She has been against a boss with no crit buff. She has been crit 6 times in a row now. Like, we've done it 3 times, and she's been double crit every single time. Her luck stat is A. That is a lie. That is a fucking lie. That is just unbelievably unlucky. Like that is so unlucky. Zenobia hates penguins, apparently. And man, there's those units now, like Ibuki, right? Ibuki's got that passive where she has damage cut built in all the time. So if Ibuki's fighting a male, she gets 30% defense up forever, and then she gets damage cut forever, and then Ibuki has her own tanky stuff, so it's just, again, it's so easy for you to just get to like this broken amount of defense. And then it doesn't happen often, but there's that 4-star CE with the 2 maids on it. Was it Lisette or whatever? And Bob? You know, that one gives you 30% NP gain, be it attacking or being attacked. So if you're fighting a boss with a high hit count, that means every time they hit you, it's 30% more. Like you can get so absurdly loopy with that CE. I remember I don't think I recorded it. I mean, what was it? I soloed something with that CE that was so broken. Well, it was a challenge quest. I can't remember, what was it? It was within the last like 6 months or something, and there was like a challenge quest or a hard main story fight where yeah, Stella, that's the name. Where I used that CE, and it was just so broken how much I could loop. Who was it? I remember it was a unit that you would not even think that they would use that. But it was because it just let them NP so much more often. God, what was it? It might have been Lost Belt 6 or something. I don't know. There was somebody that I remember I used that on that you would just never expect it. And it was super broken. Every once in a while, it's actually good on coup. Like if you're fighting a boss with a bunch of health bars, and it's not difficult to meet that damage, and the boss has a high hit count, you might as well. Now, it wasn't Miyu. It's obviously good on Asterios and Miyu. I mean, that's just obvious. It was a DPS. I used it on a DPS. Oh, it was Burgist! I don't know what it was. Yeah, it was Burgist. I know what it was now. It was Burgist against Gwaine. I was an alternate way that I beat it. I don't know what I used in the video, but I know at some point I beat Gwaine with that. And it's just because she was able to meet like the damage threshold, but she just NP'd so much more often because of it that her survivability like skyrocketed. And there's several units like that when they're just NP'ing that much. Because seriously, 30% NP gain is a lot, especially when it applies to your offense and defense. It's crazy. But yeah, pretty weird, but it worked. Okay, I can probably break right now. But I feel like I don't want to use the drain right now. Can I break without it? We've got all 6 off. Can I do 200k without using my 3rd skill? Because I think I need my 3rd skill. Dude, I actually think I don't know if she can do it, but I think she can do so much better if we just don't lose all of our damage from that stupid double crit turn. I mean, Alright, here we'll do. We'll do this. Probably just gonna die this turn though. This just sucks because she got. I really do think she could do well here if we don't just get crit on that first turn. Because you'll be able to evade twice and use the invulnerability. And I just want to see once if we don't get crit there how far we can get. So I think she can actually do pretty well. Because the thing is, I'm dying with so much resource still left over. Yeah, a lot of stages where like the damage threshold is lower, like what you need to do to kill something, they allow you to just focus on NP gain or whatever, and then if you have good gain rate for being attacked or attacking, it's like it can just get so busted. Yeah, Leo sometimes wants it, the banquet one. But he likes defense up a lot too. He's kind of all over the map with what's good with him. I really like that one Kai has. It's damage cut and NP gain. It's a limited CE, unfortunately, but that one really is. good on him. But yeah, the NP gain one can do it. Review? Yeah, we should do a review. It's getting kind of late, so I should just get on that. I'm just dicking around over here. All right, I think this NAS, I think I say their name, NASS, NAS. I think this one is an advice one. All right, what do we got here? Oh, someone actually putting in effort. I'm not sure chat can see this super well, but I'll have to just roll with it. Okay, good evening chat and green. I have been playing FGO since year 2. I wonder if it's NA or JP, because that makes a difference. Very casually, on and off, and I was never really a fan of the game until I reached Camelot. I'm surprised you made it that far. If you weren't really a fan, I'm like, it's so bad until Camelot that I'm surprised you. Like, people that want, you know, actual gameplay normally don't enjoy the game until Camelot. Other NAS. Camelot is what made me stick around. Same for me, actually. I thought writing gameplay was fantastic, and I was really regretted not having my units up to speed for it. Since then, I tried getting my favorites up and really enjoyed Epic of Remnant. With Guildfest, yeah, that's the good stuff. Out of the way, I'm ready to head into Lost Belt. So this must be NA. Wanted some advice on what to focus on in the future, boss fights, challenge quests. I'm completely free to play other than a few GSSRs, that's most players. Also, all golds and story lock servants have their MP ranks written on top. Hey, look, effort, feels good. Let's see, side note, there are a few events that I skipped out on either for time reasons or just because I hated farming. This person sounds a lot like me, really, because I don't like farming either. So I missed out on, although I always do the events, but not on my ults. Missed out on a lot of skill ranks. I don't really enjoy using OP supports as I feel like they trivialize a lot of the content. Also, just like me, it's like I attract a certain type of person or something. I'm having a lot more fun using golds with budget supports. That's my jam right there. Oh, this person's like right up my alley here. Because seriously, when you use a gold, right, like one of your favorite golds, you want them to actually show what they're made of and not just get carried by, you know, Merlin or Castoria. I have no qualms using OP stuff for farming. Yep, also just like me. I only use double scatty Edmund for farming, for God's sakes. Sorry for a long intro, let's get into it. No, it's fine, I like getting some context. Based on the events mentioned above, I haven't really done many, so I'm short on lures, so I tried using them as best I can. Alright, well hopefully you have a lot of rare prisms or something, because that's one way to offset that. Alright, Bedivere NP5. Look at this person knowing to give the NP rank on Bedivere. So many people don't do that. It's crazy. Okay, finally got NP5 Bedivere from Class Banner. He's my main saber for boss killing. Thankfully, he's really good at that, so no problem. His battery seriously helped me. Also, Masashi was from GSSR. I really wanted Tristan from the Camelot banner, but I got Gwen instead. I don't really mind since Gwen is cool. Well, you have other chances for Tristan down the road, but Tristan is so good. Oh my god, he's so good. So this is indeed NA, I kind of figured. So let's see, NA is Lost Belt 5, right? You're about to get Lost Belt 5-1. Where the I have no idea where you all were with events. You just did Saber Wars? What the fuck was after Saber Wars? So you just had Guildfest 2. I have no idea what's coming up on NA. I can help with main story, but I don't. Hold on. Let me put in some effort here. I'll look at hunting quests. Yeah, that's the hard stuff. I'm gonna look at the event list and I'll try to see if there's any like memorable challenge quests that, because this person seems to really care about challenge quests and, you know, the boss fights. So they're like me. So what do we got here? So you all just did Saber Wars. So you've got what? You got that Christmas challenge quest coming up. That one was pretty AoE based. There was like some kind of kid thing there that I don't remember. But you got the Christmas challenge quest. Yeah, all I remember about that one is it's AoE, and like Berserker was good. Like Darius was good and stuff like that. Then you've got, yeah, Lost Belt 5, so I'll think about that. Wow, did you all not get a challenge quest in December? I guess it's because of main story. Yeah, I guess you didn't. Then you've got, wow, you guys are coming up on, am I crazy? Yeah, you're like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you got like the Amazon event coming up kind of soon and stuff. Jeez. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, that challenge quest was double Penth. I don't remember what was good there. I have no idea. It's been, we never got a rerun of that, so I don't remember that challenge quest. You got the Benny challenge quest rerun. Huh, that's crazy. I had no idea the Amazon event was that old now. Okay, well I've got a basic idea what's coming. And the Say's kind of coming up. I remember that challenge quest. So actually there's a lot of challenge quests where Lancers are good. Ku can carry for like all of these. Like just Ku good. Okay, let's see. So Bedivere's your main saber, so that means Buster's good. You've got, I mean, you've got plenty of options here. I mean, you've got AoE with Nero. She's NP2. Maybe get her skill ranks up. Those skill ranks are yikes. I don't know if you like Nero or not, but from a practicality standpoint, Nero is exactly what your account needs here, right? You got Musashi, Bedivere for your single target, and then Nero for AoE, and she can even help for challenge quests and single target stuff because she's kind of good for both. So Nero is a really good level up, like for skill ranks. That's like, I don't like Nero, but man, Nero just does a lot. Farm, quick, you know, battery, even some degree of looping, challenge quest, straightforward stuff, like because of the gut spam, like she does a lot of things at once, so she's really good. Your Gwen's not leveled yet, but that's fine. Like, you don't really need him. If you like him, by all means, but you're in really just Nero skill ranks and you're completely fine. Yeah, you don't need anything other than that. All right, nothing to see here. David, truly, wait a minute. What's going on here? Let me investigate here. Some ain't right here. I don't know about that 10-10-10. I don't even, what's, okay, this entire picture it's not like a different servant's background, right? That's just like the Chad background, it's like the jawline background, right? So the David is being obscured is what I'm getting out of this. So okay, the good news is I can extrapolate some info here because this is sorted by like level and it's ahead of Arash. That means he's probably at least level 70. Okay, so the at least leveled David, right? So they at least leveled David, but I have a feeling that their skills are not where they should be. Let's see, nothing to see here. David truly is a grand archer. I'm not sure why I even bothered leveling up any other archer when I have him. Billy was always my favorite, and during an early game, his battery saved me a lot. Yeah, he's good. So my guess is their David is like 666 or, you know, something sus like that, but at least they're leveled, right? So they probably, I don't know if they passed the David test or not, but I have a feeling they don't. So let's see, so you've got Billy and Tomoe for your main single target boss nuking, and then you've got David and Robin is like backup. Robin is scuffed, but like for just backup, that's fine. For AoE, you've got Arash and then very scuffed Emiya, but he's NP2. That's alright. Like, your AoE is pretty weak. Legitimately, I would level your Arjuna because he's good. Arjuna's good. He's a much better unit than people give him credit for. He can get his NP nice and quick, and then he's good for farming, and then he's got like the most anti-debuff that's ever existed. So the only way I wouldn't level Arjuna is if you just got amazing AoE berserkers and you just don't need any AoE. But he'll help you farm and he'll give you some usefulness stuff against challenge quests. There's a lot of challenge quests where Arjuna is really good. So if I was gonna level anything, it would be that. It would definitely be that. But other than that, you're fine. If your David is scuffed, unscuff it. But yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Ku has always been my go-to Lancer, but ever since I got Taiga to NP5, I started using her sometimes for Buster stuff. I might get Liz up to help Lalter with AoE stuff. Yeah, Lalter and Liz, that's fine, because they're both females, so you get the big boost. So, for single target, though, you've got Taiga and Ku. I mean, that's enough. I mean, Ku is so good, and like a lot of challenge quests coming up, Ku is good for. Like, he's good for the Penth one coming up, and so on and so forth. So, Ku's really good. And then Taiga for backup, no problem. Her skill rank sucks, so maybe work on that. Get Leonidas up. Get Leonidas up. It's always good to have Leonidas. You don't have to level his skills much. Just get his stuff unlocked. You know, get him to, you know, like 6-1-1 at least, right? At least do that. Very easy to do, and it's good to have that in your back pocket. But you got Gareth, so it's fine. If you need emergency taunt, you have that. Liz would be okay for leveling though. Liz, like, I don't think Romulus. Why don't you have the? Wait a minute. Why? What's going on here? You don't have Romulus or Hector, which you've been playing long enough, which makes me think you've burned them, which you should not do that. Even if you don't like them, you should at least, because they're bonus servants sometimes. Also, who doesn't like Hector, for God's sakes, right? Like, you should, you know, at least get them to NP5 and lock them and just have them there in case they're an event bonus or whatever. I was gonna say, Hector and Romulus aren't normally worth leveling just for farming, but Liz is. If you have no AoE Lancer, Liz is worth leveling. Now, you got Lancer Artoria, but let's be honest, she's basically single target. It's been a while since I sent, so Leo is up, and Taiga's first skill is are 9. Okay, but what about Hector and Romulus though? Why are they not even there, right? Because I see most of the other low stars here, like I see Fergus and Caesar. I think I lost them by cleaning my inventory. Oh, always lock one copy. Feels bad. Okay, what do we got here? Drake was a spook. Well, she's really good for farming, so that's not too bad. I have 3 riders who use batteries. I got to get up. Oh, whose batteries I gotta get up, excuse me. Merlin was pretty bad influence on me, not leveling taunt walls. I just used him for everything. Let's see, do you have Merlin? Okay, wow, I should have checked this earlier. You have Scatty, Merlin, and Tam, and Waver. Jesus Christ. That's pretty busted. Well, that goes back to what you said where they trivialize everything, because they do indeed. Okay, so chat, I gotta hold back the rage here. Does anyone know what's wrong in this picture? There's something in this picture that I find fairly inexcusable. There's actually 2 things, but there's one. George is bad, but that's actually not the worst. It's bad, like it is bad, but it's not Kentucky. Yeah, it's Kentucky. Who the fuck doesn't level? Kentucky's skills aren't even hard to get up. The event he came with let you level all his stuff, and he's so good. And it's not like your other riders. It's not like Drake's AoE in NP1, right? It's not like you have other riders that are just gonna murder everything. Why would you not? It's esports, George? I mean, sure, but then level another one, because 45 George actually is good. But then level another George, right? Also, your level 1 George isn't locked, and everyone needs a level 1 George. You gotta have the 45 George, the 1 George, and the 65 George. But your 1 George is not locked, so you might want to fix that. But yeah, level Kentucky's skills. God damn, he's so good. Like, what are we doing here for caster bosses? And you got Demeter coming up. You'll be fine for Demeter though, because you've got Ushi, you've got Drake, and you got Alex. That's really all you would need, and then you could use Kentucky even at that. But Kentucky will make your life so much easier when he's like 10-10x, and at least get his battery to 10. Hey January, thank you for 8 months. Yeah, 8 months. Like, I thought I said 6, but I'm just crazy. Okay. My luck with casters overshadows my luck with other classes. Yeah, you got like everything there. Their mats are hell. I actually got Waver from the class banner when I just wanted Asclepius. I've had a few friends that have had that happen to them. Ignore the NP2 Waver. That was a mistake. I mean, hey, it's more defense down, so. Merlin and Scatty are probably the only ones I actively saved for, though I recently only used Merlin. Recently, I want to use Merlin less because he makes things a little too easy. Yeah, he makes everything too easy. Even Fluffy. Like, Fluffy is so much easier with Merlin if you know how to use him with the story support Castoria. The only other thing of note is I plan to grade Asclepius to 80 because I like him, and I don't have Poster Girl. I don't have Outrage CE for VC Brawn. Well, you can get Outrage from the Rare Prism shop, and it's probably worth doing unless you. Oh God, did you already buy it from the Rare Prism shop and then pick a different CE? Because if you did that, that's pretty rough. And yeah, this is a free-to-play account. Dude, people act like you can't do this if you're free-to-play. It's not even hard. It's literally not even hard to have OP casters if you're free-to-play. You just save for them, right? It's not hard to accomplish at all. Now, if you want other servants, then it can be a problem. But if you're trying to be a meta slave and free to play, it's not an issue. I wouldn't do it though because I don't like using the OP casters anyway, even though I have all of them. But well, not Castoria, but. Okay, so I'm surprised though if you use Merlin that much that his second skill's not leveled up, because the shorter cooldown on his invulnerability makes life a lot easier. But if you win fast enough, I guess it doesn't matter. Your skill ranks are pretty scuffed. So for this Christmas lottery, if you're ever, I know you don't like farming, but if you're ever gonna sit down and get some farming done, do it during this Christmas lottery, because you could really use some skill gems on this account, like clearly. Because you gotta get that Asclepius up if you like him and stuff, and then a lot of your other units are pretty scuffed. Your Qingong's scuffed, your Waver's scuffed, your Avisibron's scuffed, your damage casters are scuffed, right? There's a lot of scuff here. Did you have Martha? You did not. So that makes even more reasons to use Asclepius, so it's actually really good for this account that you're grailing them, and even more so if you don't want to use the OP supports. If you don't want to use the OP supports though, you've got to get Hans up, you got to get Qingong up, you got to get David's second skill to 10. Those are like really important if you're trying to lay off of OP supports, right? If you're trying to like, you know, slowly get off the OP support drug, you really want to get those normal supports up. So yeah, skill gems. Probably my weakest class before, I don't know, your Rider class was pretty scuffed with those skill ranks. I mean, you have Kentucky so it can become broken, but before Jack arrived, she was a spook. I plan to get 100 face up. Also, you'll notice that there's another Yan there, and that's because I'm debating if I want to NP2 him or get a Rare Prism. It really just comes down to if you like him or not. If you like him, keep him. If you don't really care, then fuck it, right? Because even with Yan's buffs down the road, he's not so good that you need him. Like, he's totally fine if you like him, but he's 100 face and Jack are like all you're ever gonna need. If you get Jack's skills up and 100 face's skills up, you're never gonna need Yan. I wish Aerie was here because Aerie has grailed Yan 10-10-10. I think she would agree with me that even with all that, he's never necessary. And so Kurotsugu though with 100 face is awesome. It really is. So get Kurotsugu up, get 100 face up, and then you've got great synergy there. You'll never need Yan, so I wouldn't worry about it. If you don't care like that, if he's not like your favorite character, just, you know, fuck it. Got Fuma. Your really this account's problem is just skill ranks. It's just skill ranks, skill ranks, skill ranks, skill ranks. Like your servants are fine. You've got pretty good variety. Your skill ranks are just atrocious. I'll go into like who you should probably level skill rank wise in a second, like in what order. So we'll see. Good old Lancelot. Ever since I got Scatty, I literally always use Zerkalot for farming. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's already Bond 10. Also, I really want NP5 Mori, but you can find out why that didn't happen once you reach the extra class. Oh boy. I also have 2 MLB Sakura scopes, though, so I use a Russian Spartacus a lot too. Yeah, I mean, that's the shit right there. Your Mori's NP1? Yee. That hurts. That really hurts. If you want to do Mori stuff, though, that's even more reason to get your Qingong up, because he's super good with him. Alright, so Lancelot's fine. He's not very skill rank dependent. You're going to want something single targety, though, so probably get your Jerker skill ranks up unless you don't like her. Although I don't know what else you'd even level other than that, because Banana Oni kind of sucks. And your Beowulf's only NP1. So I hope you like Jerker, because she would really help this account big time. So other than Spartacus though, you don't have like, you got the Lancelot Scatty thing, and there are times that doesn't work. There really are times that doesn't work. And as time goes on, they start making a lot of challenge quests where that doesn't work. And there's a lot of farming nodes where that doesn't work anymore. That just kind of, they start changing things like nodes and stuff. So it still works often, but you do want to have other, like farming setups available, so you don't want to ignore your other stuff, your other classes. But you have Spartacus and Arash, so that's good. All right, what do we got here? Wow. That's how do you imagine getting it's one thing to get NP2 Nobu pretty quickly, but you only got NP1 Mori. That's so unlucky. And then you just want to Castigal, so you got like Gorgon. Well, okay. So, from the taste that I see on this account, what I'm about to say is probably not a unit you want to really focus on. But you said you wanted advice on future challenge quests and main story stuff. And so my advice for the future is to level your MHXXX to 80, 10, 10, 10, because she's so good. Just there is so much hard content coming down the pipeline that she will just make so much easier. And if you could somehow get in P2 like on a rerun or whatever, it'd be really worth it. Now, if you're wanting to save your SQ though, don't bother. But there are some just really nasty boss fights, and she's like one of the most useful things you have on this account for it. Because, like, for example, other than Ku, which is really, really good, but other than Ku, you don't really have a good DPS for Fluffy, right? And MHXX is really good for Fluffy, and also just good for all kinds of other stuff. Now, you can use Ku for Fluffy, though. Like, absolutely. You get it, especially if you get his third passive, and you have, like, you could do like, Nash, Ku, Castoria, and then Merlin somewhere, and Asclepius on the team. Like maybe Mash, Ku, Castoria, Asclepius, then Merlin or something, right? Like you could do a setup like that. So you probably can beat Fluffy as is, but it would definitely be easier if you get that MHXX up, and then she helps for a lot of other stuff. She's such a universal unit that it just is so applicable in so many circumstances. She is very practical. Like, she's very, very practical. But if you hate her, you don't have to level her, but I definitely would recommend it. She fills a lot of gaps that your account is kind of lacking in for challenge quests. Okay, your match is 10, 10, 10, that's good. You got Edmund, so that's good with your scatty stuff. He's in P2, so that's strong. So, honestly, your only issues on this account are just, like, your assassin's a bit weak, get 100 face up. You're lacking, some, like, taunts and stuff. And it's just your skill ranks. Your skill ranks are super bad. Like, I mean, in Kentucky's 441. I mean, like, that's really bad. So, really, if you could ever grit your teeth and grind, do it, and the Christmas lottery gives skill gems, doesn't it? I know there was, like, a lottery one time that didn't give skill gems, I think, but I'm pretty sure it gives skill gems. And as long as it does, just farm that, and that'll bail this account out. And then, because you're not wanting to level like 1 billion servants, right? But it'll let you get those core units that you're using here to 10, 10, 10. That's what you want. The stuff that you're using, get it to 10, 10, 10. Because you don't even need new servants if you don't want them, right? So if you just get those done and get it behind you, it'll be worth it. Yeah, the only thing I'd recommend to level though is MHXX, George if you haven't. You said you already leveled Leonidas, and then maybe Arjuna, and that's like it. Now in terms of skill rank priority though, let's see. If you want a meta game, it's definitely the meta supports, right? Like Merlin's second skill for challenge quests is really good. So that and Waver would be good. But if you're wanting to not use them as much, you don't have to do that. But from a pure meta standpoint, Merlin's second skill would be very high priority for me. Now if it was me though, I wouldn't be focusing on the meta supports anyway. So if it was me, I'd be focused on Qin Gong and Hans right now, like definitely. And then David, because you're probably lying and it's probably not 10, 10, 10, but I want David's second skill to 10. I want Hans and Qin Gong's skills up. Kentucky, and then probably Ku to 10, 10, 10 because he's close. Like, it's not even that hard to do at that point. And then 100 face. That would be that's roughly the order in which I would worry about them. And then I'd start working on just getting MHXX up. Arjuna's pretty low on the totem pole, but he's in there somewhere eventually. But yeah, that's roughly what I would do. But yeah, it's a good account. I mean, you'll be fine. Well, hey, you got Golden Sumo, and it's level 80, so you're way ahead most people. You got Golden Cart, that's good. So there's your Star Bomb, like the best Star Bomb. What else we got here? We got some okay no starting in PCEs. It's good to have those. I don't see Art of Death. If you're going to get the Yang CE, though, you don't need Art of Death. You got 2030, that's good. Got that. Don't forget that Joan of Arc one. I tell you, that Joan of Arc mirror one can be really good. The 3 debuff immunity, that can occasionally be crazy powerful. Okay, pretty good variety. I mean, you're missing a few things. You don't have as many 50% starting in PCEs as I would like, but you have enough. I mean, you got a Art one, Universal one, you got the Suzuka Gozen one as well, so it's okay. The main thing is either level up Art of Death or get the Yang CE. Like either one or the other. Because every once in a while there's just fights where you need that long-term really good damage CE and starting in P is not good. You got Black Grail, so that's a good start. Another thing. Okay, hold on. Do you have a Pierce Invulnerability one or the Anti-Berserker one or any of that? Let me see. Doesn't really look like it. You might have one though, and you just didn't show it. Because there's like that Pierce Invulnerability one with Nuke Head on it that gives you Buster Up and Pierce Invulnerability. You want something because 5.5 is coming in like, I don't know, a year on an A, and you want something that has Pierce Invulnerability. I think Sumo will come back. No joke. I think Sumo will come back. Dude, if Sumo comes back, I'm making a joke video about telling everyone to get it. I'm making a YouTube like community post telling everyone to get it. I'm gonna make like an announcement on my Discord telling everyone to get it. Like, you know, I don't want any of that no Sumo stuff because I think it will come back. I think it will come back. This last event gives me hope. But yeah, get a Pierce Invulnerability CE. If you see it in an event, get it. There's some you can get from the Rare Prism shop. There's an Attila the Hun one that gives you starting NP and Pierce Invulnerability. At least get one copy of it. But you have a year though. You have at least a year. So if you don't have a Pierce Invulnerability one, get it because it's pretty nasty if you don't have one. Green's gonna be that guy, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. But yeah, get Art of Death or the Yang CE. If you're planning on rolling on the Yang CE when it comes out, you don't need to level Art of Death. If you're not planning on getting the Yang CE, then you definitely want to level Art of Death. What else? And then probably Outrage, because Outrage is another thing you can get with Rare Prisms. But if you don't have Anniversary Blonde yet, you definitely want to get that, because you've got several Buster Servants, and even, you said you want to do Mori stuff eventually. I have Art of Death? Okay, well definitely start, you know, if it's not leveled, start getting it up. You don't necessarily have to get it max level this second, but you want it to have a decent attack stat on it. And you want to limit break it sooner or later. But yeah, that's good. Okay, well I think that's all the pictures here. Yeah, it is. You should be fine. Should be fine. Just stay in touch. I'd like to know how Lost Belt 5 goes, especially 5.2. It kind of sucks. You know, I talk about Lost Belt 5 a lot, but it's mostly 5.2, right? Like 5.2 is what I'm interested in and whatnot. Okay, so I wanted to play Ninja Gaiden today, but because I could stream it right now. I'm healthy enough. I normally have time, but I made plans in real life. Can you believe it, chat? I made plans in real life. Who the fuck does that? But anyway, so I don't have a whole lot of time left, so I gotta get ready for that. I'll do it tomorrow. We'll do a bonus stream tomorrow. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll do another account review tomorrow as well. Let's see if I can raid anybody. Maybe Cairo's streaming late. Nope. Well, let's see. Oh, Kadroth is streaming. We'll hit him up. I think he's playing NA right now. No, he's on JP actually. All right, boys, go get him. I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. And yeah, we'll try to sneak in some Ninja Gaiden tomorrow as well. Peace.